What is up? The boys are back.
The tripod in the house.
Dynasty Light Fantasy Football, your boys Stevie B, Hammer, and Bagala over there, trying not to cry as we watch the Giants here.
That's right. That's right.
Nobody's not crying. Nobody's crying. It's a good game. We're right there.
I'm not crying.
We're right there.
But all right, let's go over the games that happened. Let's start with, I guess, that Pittsburgh and Cleveland game. Hammer, tell me about the Steelers.
It's pretty much what we've been seeing this entire season. They struggle to move the ball. They struggle to score points. I think the chants for Kenny Pickett are going to get louder as these weeks progress with the Steelers looking stagnant. The highlight of the Steelers week was George Pickens going semi-Odell Beckham. I'm not going to disrespect it because it wasn't full Odell, but it was Odell-ish. Okay? It was a terrific catch. It's probably the catch of the year. It wasn't as nice as Odell's, and it didn't go for a touchdown, so I can't rate it up there. But it was a hell of a catch, so you know that he is a player. But Mitchell Trubisky just doesn't have the sauce. He really doesn't. And I think that offense is way too stagnant. You still got to play Najee. Deontay showed some flashes. I think Deontay had a pretty solid game from what I can recall. I could bring up the numbers real quick.
8 for 84 on 11 targets.
So that's solid. He's been getting the volume. I think he's in double-digit targets or close to that each game. So I think Najee and Deontay are really the two startable assets on Pittsburgh, but they can't score, dude. They're probably going to be under 20 in almost every game unless they get a lucky bomb somewhere here or there. So they're going to be between 17 and 21 every single week. Trubisky doesn't have the sauce. I think in another 2 to 3 weeks, you might see Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, well, don't forget about my boy Baby Gronk. All right, don't forget about Baby Gronk.
Brian Ruth. All right, fair point. But he didn't really start popping off till the fourth quarter.
He only had he had 2 for 41. He had the big catch, but they weren't throwing it to him at all until the end.
Right.
Yeah, and it wasn't really big catches. At that point, Cleveland was like in a prevent defense, and you know what I'm saying. He
did have that catch over the middle where he got like hit by like 3 different guys and like bounced off them. So Muth is always going to be a factor because tight ends are so shallow, and he's actually a good football player.
Yeah.
Graham Gano was our only weapon.
Patrick, what's up? Thanks for joining in. He had 2 crucial drops. Is that Deontay? Most likely. Is it you talking about Deontay, Patrick? I would believe so. Giants tight. Yeah, they still suck though. But yeah,
watch your mouth, dude.
Bagala, tell me about the Browns.
Oh, it starts with Jacoby Brissett. I don't know. It's something, the Steelers lose TJ Watt and they make Jacoby Brissett look like he's the second coming of Joe Montana. But
he was slinging some stuff out there.
Jacoby Brissett, he's always been a solid quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Solid guy, solid backup to come in and give you a few games here and there. He had a good year with the Colts. He, a few good games with the Patriots. Coop, I think Coop is really the story on the Browns. If Brissett can keep finding Coop and Njoku, then they have some remnants of a passing game. And for fantasy, for the Coop owners, you like that. And you really didn't think any of the pass catches for the Browns were really going to be anything until Deshaun came back late. So you was thinking fantasy playoffs maybe. But, Chub is a house. If you got Chub, if you got those running backs, you're good. You know what I'm saying? It was an off night for Kareem. He only had, I think 7.5, but he still gets the value. You know what I'm saying? And they both get value. And now you got Amari Cooper. The Browns realistically should be 3-0 right now if they don't have the collapse against the Jets. And that's a good football team. And I think Brissett's going to keep Cooper viable. I don't know how many more 100-yard games you get, but it's a good sign that you see him at least have a connection with him. And also, if you don't have Njoku on your roster, he's maybe a streaming tight end flyer that you want to pick up too, because it looks like it's going to be those two guys in that offense at least until Deshaun comes back and starts spreading around the ball. But the Browns look good, man. Coop looks good, and I got to give it to Jacoby Brissett. He's a player.
I think we're just real quick, just to touch on that. I don't think anybody had Amari Cooper being this productive, or at least even close to it at the beginning of the season. So that's been a real surprise that I'm
you kind of figured that they're already a run first team, but you kind of figured that they would double down on that. You know what I'm saying? And they would double down on the run and just keep and be really run heavy. But you see, like play action, things like that is, Coop is viable.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, they are still run heavy. I mean, it's not like Jacoby Brissett's throwing 40 passes. He threw 31 passes, and then Chub and Hunt both, 23 and 12. So they ran the ball, almost 40 times. Just obviously somebody's got to catch the ball. But yeah, nobody expected Cooper, I think, to go off this early. I mean, everyone kind of thinks, at least like I did. Like, I know he's going to have his games. But it's a little bit scary, especially, if you're trying to if you drafted him high, but obviously he was,
but
his
also
cost was because Deshaun wasn't going to be there. So like you said, we expect to wait, until later in the season. But he's producing now, and now let's see if he can keep on doing that going forward. We'll see about that. And I was
back to back 100-yard games with a touchdown though. That'll work.
Yeah, and also for me, I think 31 pass attempts for Jacoby Brissett is high.
Yeah.
That's a lot for him in that offense. You're talking about, Steve, for a quarterback that's back there slinging it, 31 is nothing. But for him, Jesus fucking Christ, turn around. All right, but for him, that's a lot. You don't want Jacoby Brissett flirting with throwing the ball 30 times if you're the Browns. Not with those two running backs, but he made it work against the Steelers. More props to him.
Yeah. No, I think they run it when they need to. Nowadays it's hard to keep the passing attempts down, especially if you're, penalties or, you lose a yard, lose a couple of yards on first, on first down or whatever. But I like Brissett was looking. At one point he was like 19 of fucking 20 or some crazy shit like that. And I was he
was slinging it.
Is going on here? But
TJ Watt goes down and the Steelers forget how to play defense.
But they look good, and that's the thing with
big fucking stop.
With Brissett is he's not great, but doesn't need to be. He's a seasoned vet that is just kind of taking what's there, and that's why he went to Njoku so many times. It was there. I don't know if that's going to keep happening going forward, but Hunt and Chub seem to show that they can both be played, in fantasy once again. So,
yeah, that's been the story for a couple of years now. They've both been viable running backs in fantasy. Absolutely. It's just the way they run their offense.
Yeah. All right, Lions and Vikings. Since
talk about lucky fuck.
And Hammer are both fans already. Let's let Bagala go first on this one.
All right, I won't take it.
Game.
I'll take the Lions. The Lions, their offense, let's say it, they can score with anybody in the league. They really can. St. Brown, he's becoming a stud. Dare I say, Jared Goff looks better than he did in LA. Like in Detroit, he looks to be a better quarterback in Detroit than he did with LA at the back end. The Swift injury is big. They're going to miss him for a couple of weeks. But that's why everybody was so high on Swift. And I had him last year, and I like Swift, but he gets hurt. And, if you have Swift, you should have drafted Jamal Williams with him. If you didn't, you need to, hopefully he shouldn't be on the waiver wire, but if he is, go pick him up because this is going to be a couple of weeks without Swift. And I think that's just going to help Ahmad and those receivers there, Hawkinson, and I think they go and they throw a little bit more now. But their defenses, Lions defenses, it has to get better. But I like the Lions. I like what they're doing. I like St. Brown. I like DJ Chalk. Hawkinson still he got some work. He hasn't gotten it going just yet. I just feel like it's been just St. Brown for the Lions. And Swift, but now that Swift is gone, I think also with Swift being gone, I think you're going to start to see St. Brown line up in the backfield a little bit more, just like the last part of last year he did when DeAndre Swift missed those 5 games, those couple of games, the back half of the season. So maybe more rushing and start looking for maybe some Lions wide receivers. Josh Reynolds had a really good game. He's a sleepy pickup for a deeper league if you need wide receiver help. He came over with Golf from LA. He had a pretty good game. I think DJ Chalk's volume's going to go up a little bit more because I think they're going to be throwing a little bit more now. And like I said, if you don't have Jamal Williams, see if he's out there and try and get him. But I like the Lions. They gave that game away. But it's neither here or there. You're lucky, Steve. You lucky bastard.
I mean, I guess I'll talk about Swift real quick because I have Swift in two of my home leagues, and I don't have Jamal Williams. Not that I didn't want to get him, but he was just taken before I can grab him. So I didn't really get a chance to grab him there. And even last year, I mean, he didn't do much when Swift was out, but it looks like they've got a little different kind of role for him this year.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have to temper our expectations. Jamal Williams is going to be the starting back there, but he most likely Craig Reynolds is going to get some. They're going to split up the carries. He's not going to get a Swift workload. He's not going to get 25 carries. He is going to get the goal line carries, and he can catch out of the backfield. He's going to be a good placeholder, and he may have some good games, but don't expect him to give you DeAndre Swift numbers. I just think that DeAndre Swift, it's more of the player than the position in Detroit. It's that he's so good that when they get him the ball, he makes things out of his touches. And I just think you're going to hope that Jamal Williams can just hold it down, get you some goal line touches and some touchdowns and things like that. But he's still a good enough back to maybe starting your flex on a weekly basis.
Now, Jamal Williams, I mean, it does piss me off that he was getting, those goal line carries. But, I mean, Swift is just so good, and he gets the ball so much, whether it's carrying the ball or receiving the ball, that it didn't really bother me because he was still scoring touchdowns. And even, this week that just passed, the week before where he had like 7 touches because of the ankle, I mean, he still, winds up scoring a touchdown and getting some receiving work. So, I mean, it sucks that he's hurt, but I'd rather him take some weeks off and get healthy. This way he can come back. He can come back strong. In the meantime, I got to find somebody to play. I think I got Stevenson, though, in those leagues. I got to check. But Hammer, tell me about the Lions-Vikings.
I guess I'll jump in on the Vikings there real quick. They had a fairly productive day. Most notably absent was Justin Jefferson. Everybody else really skill position wise was fairly productive. Dalvin had a nice day. He did have, I think he had a dislocated shoulder, but I don't think it's anything serious or anything that he's going to miss significant time. So just keep an eye on that. If you have Alexander Madison, have him ready to go just in case Dalvin gets next week off. KJ Osborne got into the fray, caught a touchdown. Adam Thielen got into the fray, caught a touchdown. Kirk Cousins, no turnovers. I think he had 260 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no turnovers. So it was a pretty clean game for the Vikings from an offensive standpoint. I think, as Bagala said, the biggest takeaway for me was, number one, no Justin Jefferson. And I think a lot of teams are going to make a concerted effort to kind of not let him do what the Packers let him do, which is just run wild, for the entire game. But the Lions, man, I thought the Lions were going to win that game. They were up 10, for much of that game, and then the Vikings just stormed back. So I think it's going to be a more competitive division overall. But from a fantasy standpoint, if you got Dalvin, obviously Justin Jefferson's the big guy. Thielen is still a solid flex guy, a little more touchdown dependent as he gets later on in his career. And then if either one of those guys gets hurt, I've been saying KJ Osborne is a very, very viable flex play or wide receiver 3 play if any of those guys get hurt, mainly Jefferson or Thielen.
Yeah, I mean, literally Thielen is like touchdown or bust, pretty much. That's what you kind of have to expect.
Yeah.
But he can easily score double-digit touchdowns. So it's like, if you have him on your team, it's hard to not play him. JJ, of course, was a little disappointing.
Bagalaz's about to lose it. He's about to lose it.
Let's go! I told you he's back. Saquon's back. RB1 season. Let's go. Let's go, baby.
Oh, God.
All right, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Just fucked. Horrible.
RB1 season.
That's just horrible. Fucking. They should have had him. Horrible.
That's good running. Tackling. Look at the cutback. Boom. Sticks his foot in the ground.
Definitely good running.
Cutback lane. That's good. Look, boom. Makes one man miss. Get off me. Who threw that rock? Look at that. And then it's just speed. It's speed at the end of it. And here comes the weapon, Graham Gano.
He made nice moves. It was horrible defense, but
all right, let's keep it rolling. Nobody cares about the Giants.
But yeah, so Dalvin Cook played really well until obviously he fucking got hurt. He was about to go over 100 and fucked the shit up.
I think this shoulder problem, he dislocated his shoulder numerous times already. This is going to be a problem.
He did it last year, and then he had to wear a brace, and then he ran for 200 yards to get literally the next game, just like this week. He got hurt. He came back wearing a brace the next game and ran for 200 fucking yards.
Yeah, but how many times does it happen before he doesn't come back? And that's the scary part.
Dislocated shoulder. You pop that fucking bad boy in. I mean,
but that's not always. That's not always that's not always the case. Sometimes a lot of times you dislocate your shoulder, you tear ligaments, things like that. And he's a running back. He's taking poundings. He has to lower that shoulder. I think I think they're gonna, if he plays or even going forward in the season, I think they're gonna scale back some of his work. And I think Madison becomes a more viable option. I think you're gonna start to see that Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, that Josh Robinson, ETN in Minnesota, where you're going to feel like you have to play both of those backs just because they're going to scale him back because of the injury now. That's just me.
I'm not so sure about that. I kind of have to see it before it actually happens. I think he is injury prone, and while it does make sense, I have to see that before it actually happens. I don't see him being in any sort of 60-40 split. It's going to be Dalvin until he can't get on the field.
Yeah, he's just too good. And then I mean, this happened early last year too, and he was fine. He wound up, like I said, ran for 200 the next game, and then was fine for the rest of the season. So of course it is obviously concerning, but it's not something that he hasn't done before.
But if you don't have Madison, he should be your first waiver wire pickup this week if you have Dalvin.
Yeah, well, I mean,
definitely.
Dalvin is one guy where you almost have to go out of your way to get
his handcuff.
There's very few. There's nobody really like Madison that can just hop in and automatically is getting that. But I guess Herbert's another good one too. But you got to have Madison, of course, and I have Madison, so I'm not worried. It just sucks that Dalvin was doing well, and he didn't get a chance to finish it out. Just like, I mean, the first game of the season he had 90-something yards, but didn't wind up getting in the end zone. So even though he had a good game, he just missed having that real kind of explosive game. So it just sucks that he was kind of back. And they were giving him the ball, and which they didn't do last week when they fucking got hammered. He only had like 6 rushing attempts, so that wasn't good at all.
Yeah, I think Dalvin just started off slow. I feel like he started to pick it up, and now.
Well, he didn't even start slow. As what I'm saying is, he had 90 yards the first game, and then obviously the second game was just shit because they got their ass kicked and were in throwing mode. But Yeah. Who's the next one here? Texans Bears. Hammer, talk to me about the Bears.
Justin Fields stinks, dude. Oh my God. I had Darnell Mooney. Cole Kmet finally got in the box score. I guess that's the headline from this game from a Bears.
What do you have?
Two catches,
One?
40 yards.
Yeah. Oh well, all right.
On 3 targets, that's Hall of Fame territory considering the first 2 weeks that he had, where he had bagels across the board. Khalil Herbert's the real story here. 20 carries, 157, and 2 touchdowns. So he's really the only offensive piece. Obviously, David Montgomery, whatever the case there, only had 3 carries. He got hurt, didn't he?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. He's probably going to miss a few weeks.
So
Yeah.
David Montgomery.
They say he's day to day.
It's a day to day, yeah.
So David Montgomery's hurt. Khalil Herbert steps in and goes 20 for 157 and 2 touchdowns. So and a lot of people probably didn't play Khalil Herbert because David Montgomery is the lead back after what he did. So Khalil Herbert's really the only story here with the pickup. Darnell Mooney again 2 catches for 23 yards. He did have 6 targets, which I guess that's a little bit of a step up from what we've been seeing. But other than that, I don't know. I thought they were going to be better offensively, and they're just not.
Yeah, they're really.
Well, it starts. They can't block anybody. They're not giving them time to throw, and you're seeing the result of it. They can run the block. They can run the football, and I think on the Bears side of it, just because Justin Fields can run the ball, he's still going to be a viable QB2. Or a bye week or something like that.
Not even. No.
Yes,
no
I feel I like Justin Fields, and I think Fields is gonna have better days ahead of him. Listen. It takes you a while to shake off that Matt Nagy stench.
Don't blame it on Matt Nagy now.
But even last year, he was decent.
Takes a while.
He was decent. He didn't play great, but he was decent, and at least they were able to score fucking points, move the ball, get the ball to move.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
and give him some time. He's gonna pick it up.
He's not a fucking rookie. Listen to me, bro. He's an NFL quarterback. Just listen to his fucking stats.
It's his 3rd season.
Listen to these stats.
Second season.
Listen to these stats. First game, season. 17 attempts, 8 completions for 121 yards, 2 touchdowns and an info.
Throw that first game. Throw that first game out the window.
That's the best game he had. Throw the first game out the window. Okay, let's go. Let's throw the first game out the window. Let's go to the next week. 7 completions for 11 attempts and 70 yards. 1 interception. Yeah,
okay.
8 for 20, 8 for 20 on the ground and a touchdown and scored 8 points.
He stinks, dude.
Jesus Christ. Now we're just going to let people run wild through the secondary?
Okay, so let's forget the first game. Let's talk about this current game. 8 completions, 17 attempts, 106 yards. This guy has less than 300 passing yards on the season.
In 3 games.
But Steve.
And has 4 interceptions. And he's barely
throwing the ball 11 times, 17 times.
Exactly. That's a problem. He's running the ball instead of throwing the ball and getting it out. Like, not every one of those are designed runs.
Not all of them are designed runs, but you have to understand it's only his 2nd year. All right. And you make it seem like
hold on. It's Trevor Lawrence's 2nd year.
Huh?
Trevor Lawrence is in his 2nd year.
But Trevor Lawrence has a better coach.
You can't throw for 100 yards.
You have to understand that the coaching staff and the things around them leads to young quarterback success early on. He's figuring it out.
All right. Have you seen the same development out of Trevor Lawrence, out of Justin Fields that you've seen out of Trevor Lawrence? Hell no.
Does Justin Fields have a Super Bowl winning coach?
Oh my God,
bro!
All right then.
It doesn't matter. We're not even talking about. It doesn't even matter about the coach, bro. His numbers are dismal. He looks like shit. Let's get on to this question because I can't take any more of your bullshit on Justin Fields.
It's bull jive. It's bull jive.
All right, Kyle Grove. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Full PPR. Full PPR was offered Mike Evans, Zeke Elliott. I don't even like where this is going already. And Tua. While Tua's been hot, it's the perfect time to sell Tua. Don't fall into that. But let's see here. So Evans, Zeke, and Tua for Mike Williams and James Robinson. Okay. Am I crazy for considering it? My QB is Russell Wilson. Trevor Lawrence is QB on the wire.
First of all, let me
go get Trevor Lawrence.
After Bagalaw's bullshit, let's hear what Hammer has to say first.
All right. So, Zeke taking it home. Zeke just scored a touchdown, so you might want to Zeke's value is going up.
No,
let me stop. He does look like shit.
Let me stop. I'll take the second part of that. You might want to go get Trevor Lawrence because from what I've seen from Russell Wilson, Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback right now.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, so, I wouldn't start Trevor Lawrence this week because he is playing the Eagles. Eagles defense is crazy, but for the future, I'll go get Trevor Lawrence and keep your players, dude. There's no reason for you to take Mike Evans, especially the way Tom Brady looks, and Zeke is starting to split more time with Pollard. James Robinson is a beast. Mike Williams is going to pick it up, and you can pick up Trevor Lawrence.
So that's the route I would go. Just to answer the question directly, I would go pick up Trevor Lawrence and keep Mike Williams and James Robinson. Mike Evans is going to have tremendous value as long as he's in the league, even without Tom Brady. Mike Evans was very valuable. Zeke Elliott, I'm starting to see more Tony Pollard get involved, and the more I see Tony Pollard be explosive, the less and less I like Zeke Elliott. And then Tua, I think that person, as Blanc said, Tua's value's never been higher than what it is right now. Now, can he continue to progress? I think so, based on the weapons, based on the coaching staff, based on the play calling. I saw Tua throw a pass in the end zone yesterday. That looked like a rocket into the end zone where he had to fit it in there with all the defenders, kind of converging in the end zone. Tua is interesting, but I wouldn't take that on if Trevor Lawrence is out there and you still have Russell Wilson. You won't have to give up assets to get a quarterback that's going to give you steady production, and you could kind of take it from there. So I wouldn't do the deal. Considering it, I wouldn't call you crazy because you always want to consider deals if they're going to make your team better. But I would keep Mike Williams and James Robinson and go scoop Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Polish. I think Tua had that crazy game, and then that's the selling point in this trade right now is that you're going to get Tua, and Russell Wilson is not doing so good for you. But let's pump our brakes on Tua. He's not throwing 5-6 touchdowns every game. He's going to have good games. Yes, he has the weapons. Yes, but you see what happened to him when he went up against a viable defense. The Bills basically shut Tua down until, and I don't know why he came back in the game after the injury, but he did. Yeah. They ended up getting a win, but what was his line? I think he threw for under 200 yards. You know what I'm saying? And he had the touchdowns, but 2 touchdowns, but Tua's not. He's good, but I think that in the long run, you'll probably end up getting that the same thing with Trevor Lawrence from Tua. You're not gonna. You'll get those crazy games just because he has the weapons, but I feel like they're gonna be few and far between. You know what I'm saying? And James Robinson is a house right now. He's catching the ball. He's running the ball. The ankle doesn't look like it's bothering him. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen can't stay on the field for the early part of the season. So
Mike Williams has looked really good.
Yeah, Mike Williams is going to be that number one option if Keenan Allen is not on the field. So, and Keenan Allen has missed 2 straight games already. So I would keep my players, and I'll go get Trevor Lawrence and think about starting him.
I will say just one quick, Blanc, before you take it back. The one thing that would concern me with Mike Williams just in the intermediate time is the injury to Justin Herbert, because he didn't look right yesterday, and that could impact Mike Williams.
No, he didn't.
That could impact, and who knows? The same thing Blanc said about Swift is where I'd rather them keep him out a week or so and then let my guy come back healthy. I wish the Chargers really would have did that and sat Justin Herbert down for a week. I know they're trying to keep pace, but the AFC West isn't what it's cracked up to be from what it was hyped up. So I think they could have afforded to not let him play or even take him out of the game. They were getting destroyed by Jacksonville, and he's still out there taking hits. So take Justin Herbert out, but we got to see how that injury, that rib injury, is going to affect Mike Williams' production, especially in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, another week removed from the injury, it'll be a lot better this next week. You know what I'm saying?
I would agree with you on that standpoint, but you can't even that argument is null and void to me, and not from a disrespectful standpoint. More of he took more hits on the injury to itself. So
but he didn't re-aggravate it. He didn't re-aggravate it. Yeah, he'll be a little sore.
I mean, I'm not worried about it. The guy, it happened in that game, and he came and he threw he just started throwing touchdowns all over the fucking field.
That was adrenaline. That was adrenaline.
Same kind of thing. You don't think they're shooting this mother effer up and then putting them on the field, and then his adrenaline is going. So,
but not only that,
I don't trust the Chargers shooting guys up with rib injuries. I'll tell you that.
No,
that guy's not there anymore. He didn't get the Tyrod Taylor shot, thank God. So
Tyrod's actually suing, but he is. But no, like when you have an injury like that, the adrenaline got him through that first game. The second game, now
he didn't look good.
He didn't look good, but now he knows how to go forward and how to play with this injury. You know what I'm saying? You got to find out your limitations.
Re-aggravation to it.
Yeah, but I think he's past that.
He'll be fine. Another week is going to give him more time to heal. I'm not a huge. I was on Mike Evans this year, but Tom Brady just ain't looking the same since he ain't getting no pussy. So, I'm not really onto Mike Evans right now. Zeke, like Hammer said, Pollard's just starting to cut in, so I'm not 100% on Zeke either. Tua is just being sold high. He could be good, but like Bagala said, I mean, Trevor Lawrence is not going to give you a substantially less amount of points than Tua is going to give you.
Exactly.
And what you could do is try to trade Russell to somebody, maybe. Maybe you might have to wait until he has a great game, but if there's someone else out there that needs a QB, maybe you can try and dish off Russell there. But I'm keeping Mike Williams. Keenan Allen obviously is getting older, hasn't been able to stay healthy, and that hammy could be a lingering, ongoing thing. So James Robinson, I'm still not the biggest fan of, but he's came back from an injury that nobody has ever came back.
He looks good.
And Cam Akers looks like shit, and James Robinson actually looks good.
Cam Akers is getting some more burn though. Cam Akers look good.
Anderson still looks more explosive. He just looks, I don't know. But I think I'm keeping Mike Williams and James Robinson. Go grab Trevor Lawrence. Save the guys.
Go get T-Law.
Save the guys that you have. And like I said, try and trade Russell maybe. And see what you can do there. But I'm not
in a 1 QB league. That would be hard, but you might be able to somebody to grab him.
And it's not like a bad trade, even if you consider doing it. But I'm just not a Zeke or Evans guy. And like I said, Tua is not going to give you much more than Trevor Lawrence is going to give you. Because even when they're down, they're going to be throwing the ball anyway. So we'll say don't do that and go get your boy Trevor Lawrence. So go get. You got all 3 stamps. Go get them.
I love it. That's hilarious.
All right. Thanks again, Kyle. Like and subscribe if you haven't. All right, where were we? Let me get back to
Games.
We finished up.
Houston. Talk to me about Houston. I think you talked about the Bears, right, Hammer?
Houston. Houston is what it is. The story for Houston this season, as far as fantasy wise, throw the ball. Is Damien Pierce. He got some work. He got some good work in that game. You know what I'm saying?
He outcarried Burkhead 20-3. That'll work.
Yes, he did. That'll work. That's what should have been, going on from the start. I don't know what Lovie Smith was thinking, but he figured it out. He got him the ball. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's good that Damien Pierce is getting in it. Houston's a bad team. Then they're not going to really do much. If you got guys from their team, it's probably just Damien Pierce. It's probably Brandon Cooks. Both guys. Pierce did look good. Patty Pierce looked really good. Both guys, I think, are going to be the guys you want to have in that offense. And Brandon Cooks is just going to be Brandon Cooks. He's always hit or miss. He ends up with 1,000 yards at the end of the season. But throughout the season, if you have him on your roster, he does lay those stinkers. And, that's just who he is. He's a boom or bust type of player. But I do think as the season goes on, Damien Pierce is going to get more run, more looks. And he does. He looks good. He looks solid. He looks nimble. So, that's really it. Davis Mills, he started the season off looking pretty good. Now he's come back down to just looking like an average guy. I guess, if you need, once bye weeks come around, if you need a bye week filler, if you play the matchups the right way, maybe he can fill in for you one day. But all in all, Houston's going to be a bad team. They just got gashed on the ground. And, all you're hoping for is that rookie running back to break out and give you some good games later on in the season. And, Brandon Cooks is always a good flex option if you need. So,
yeah. Even the first game, it was fine. I didn't expect Pierce to get all the carries the first game, but last week he had 15 carries and Burkhead had none. Nobody else carried the ball in the backfield, and now you saw this week him get a nice 20 touches, 80 yards.
Texans are scrappy.
With it, so
But I think that's where Pierce needs to be.
He's going to be up and down just because they're just not that good. And Cooks is going to be up and down, like you said. But Cooks always has the target. You just never know what game is gonna, it's gonna happen.
He's gonna pop. But one thing we can say is Damien Pierce needs 20 to 25 touches a game.
Yes. A lot of guys, but
No, but the thing of it is
like
that
Williams needs fucking 20 to 25, but Hackett is just being a piece of shit.
Yeah, but also Steve, those teams and those guys you're talking about, those are good teams with other viable options. If they're not giving it to Javonte Williams 20 to 25 times, that means they're throwing it to Cortland Sutton or Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, how's that working out?
Saying?
How's that working?
Dalvin Cook, but Dalvin Cook, you got JJ on the outside. You know what I'm saying? Kirk is last week. So but still, the thing is that they have other viable options that they can go to. And Houston, there is no reason for Damien Pierce not to be getting 20 to 25 carries a game. There's nobody else there. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me Rex Burkhead. If I see Rex Burkhead in the game and I'm a Damien Pierce on, I'm losing my shit because he's just like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
One quick note on Damien Pierce. He had 2 targets in the passing game, so you'd like to see maybe 4 or 5 of those. And then also he did put the ball on the ground twice. So just keep an eye on that as the season, progresses. And if he does start developing a little bit of a fumbling issue, you might see a little more Burkhead than you'd like.
Yeah, that's true. Also,
they're at least showing they want to get Pierce the ball now. But yeah, coaches should do a lot of things. They don't.
Blanc, you're just saying that because you needed Javonte to take you home.
No, I did, but everyone could see how good Javonte looks, and they're just not giving him the ball.
Blanco, we have Yee here with a question.
I don't think that's Yee. I think that's Ye. That might be Kanye West. You never.
What up, Ye? But he says, should I trade Jefferson for Debo and Chub?
Ooh.
Now, this is redraft. There's definitely got to be redraft. We're talking.
I wouldn't shut this trade down necessarily.
I wouldn't either.
No, and I'm a Vikings fan. I'm a big JJ guy. But if you're getting Debo and Mitchell is out, and he's obviously drafted in the first couple rounds. Chub as well, and the way Chub is playing, even PPR. But yeah, I mean, do you need RBs and shit? I mean, are you in the need for it? But yeah, that's a great trade, Debo and Chubb.
It's a good trade. If you're thinking
Chubb ain't gonna
about
play
this,
the Jets. What do you have? The Jet 3 touchdowns against the Jets. He's not gonna have 3 touchdowns every week, but
he's getting to work. He's getting to work.
He's getting to work. But my thing for this trade is, if you're nervous because of what happened to Jefferson these past 2 weeks, pump your brakes, Shay. All right, just calm down. The Eagles' backfield is a very good defensive backfield. He saw a ton of coverage rolled his way by different guys, and you got to give props where props is due. Jeff Okudah did a bang up job on Justin Jefferson. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a good trade, and if you need the running back help, you know, I would go with it because you're getting Chubb, and Debo's my guy. Debo's a super gremlin. He's a weapon. He gets the ball everywhere. He big playability, you know. So
Pollard, let's fucking go. Nice run.
Pollard's a super gremlin too.
He said, he said he's short at running back, so that's why he's considering it. If you're short at running back, then this is a good trade. If you need running back help, I definitely would do it, because you're getting a replacement with Debo for Jefferson, and then they're adding Chubb, and I don't know why they're adding Chubb in, but they're adding Chubb. Yeah. Because
JJ should have had a touchdown, actually. If you remember, he wound up not being able to get his feet down, but he should have had a touchdown. But even
still, overall,
what do you think?
Yeah, on the surface, you're like, if you trade Justin Jefferson, you're nuts. But then if you look a little deeper into it, you're like, all right, maybe if I could balance out my team a little better. And the fact that you're getting a very capable replacement, I'm not saying that Debo is as good a receiver as Justin Jefferson, but the totality of it, I think Debo's total value in terms of points over the course of the season is probably not going to look that much of a separation from Justin
and
Jefferson.
Debo has a higher floor. His floor is just so much higher.
Higher than who?
It
than
depends,
Jefferson. His floor.
I don't know.
It depends on how much they utilize him as a running back.
Last year was like a ceiling for Debo and what he did last year, right? With all.
But we're not talking about his ceiling. We're talking about his floor.
Oh, his floor.
And since he's getting the carries and the rushing, that's what keeps his floor higher than Debo's had bad games. He hasn't had an outstanding game compared to what Debo's standards are this year.
Yeah.
But he hasn't scored less than double digits. Why? Because the rushing keeps his floor there. As far as Jefferson, he runs into a couple of bad defenses, a couple of good defenses, 2 catches, 19 yards. He's giving you 2 points. You understand? Debo's not going to drop that low.
I don't expect that to continue. I guess just to bottom line it, if you're short at running back, and running backs are harder to come by, especially good, productive every game, game in, game out running backs that are going to get the carries. I would definitely do it if you need to balance out your team and get a little bit stronger at the running back spot. So it sucks to give up Jefferson, but you're getting a capable guy. I think Jefferson has a higher floor. I think Justin Jefferson has a higher ceiling, but Debo has a higher floor. I guess that's how to look at it.
Absolutely. I love Debo too. Yeah, go get that weapon. Get that weapon.
I mean, the opportunities are still almost the same. I mean, if you look last year, Justin Jefferson 12 to 14 targets like every game. So he hasn't had that yet really so far. I think they're still trying to find their groove, and it sucks that fucking Cook got hurt. But yeah, don't panic on Jefferson. But if you do need a running back, then this trade I wouldn't mind doing there. I wouldn't mind doing there.
Go get that weapon. Go get Debo. Go get that. Yeah.
Stamp it, boys.
We definitely need a sound for that.
I know.
Yeah, something like bah!
I gotta find
right?
I gotta find something that yeah.
Yeah, Chub has been dirty this year, bro.
All right, let's run through these other ones quick. Raiders, Titans. Bagala, since you got Derek Carr, tell me about that that guy that has all these weapons and is now 0-3. I think they're the only 0-3 team in the NFL.
Yeah, they're still working through a lot of things. A lot of their problems is on the defensive side of the ball. If you look at it, you know what I'm saying. They should have had that Cardinals game won. That Cardinals game should have been locked up, and the defense folded up. Hold on, big fourth down here.
Not so much.
No, he's got it. Forward progress.
That's bullshit, bro.
CD.
But anyway, but as far as fantasy goes, Derek Carr gave me a solid output last week. 26 points. He went over 300. He threw a couple of touchdowns. No turnovers is the big thing. No turnovers. And that's the big thing with Derek Carr. And I think as the season goes on, they're going to get more comfortable in this offense, and you're going to start seeing more bigger games and things like that. But the Raiders shouldn't be 3-0. The defense is just really bad right now. And Derek Carr is going to pick it up with that offense. Josh Jacobs, I don't know what's really going on with him. You know what I'm saying?
He played all right. He had 5 yards a carry, dude.
Yeah, but this team is going more. Yeah, this team is. Jesus Christ, dude! Just
the Lamb.
Oh,
get some.
Yeah,
this is horrible.
Flex right on now. Him, PD. Let's go. Now keep Pollard in there and bang that bitch in.
No, Pollard's not going to bang it in there. Zeke's going to come in. Zeke's the hammer. But anyway, it's just. This team is a throwing team, so I wouldn't want any Raiders running backs. You know what I'm saying? Renfro missed the game, but he should be back.
I don't know. They got fucking Hollins now. Renfro might be done.
No, Renfro's not done. Renfro's not
Holland's in there. Let's go. Give it to your boy.
No.
Fuck, they didn't give it to him.
Oh my God. Oh, fucking dirty.
With the left, just laid it up. Give it to me, baby.
Oh, that was filthy. That was filth.
And you know what? They were just talking shit in the chat about CD.
Yeah, he dropped that touchdown though. But Derek Carr, I think he's gonna get better. He's still putting up solid numbers. The only thing is that you gotta hope he doesn't turn the ball over. That's it. So the Raiders are bad right now. I think they'll pick it up. The whole AFC West doesn't look good.
Agreed.
But I think the Raiders will pick it up as the season goes on. They got too many weapons not to. So I'm still big on Derek Carr and those weapons out there. But that team, that defense is just the defense is letting them down right now.
Don't give me nothing about the damn defense. They suck on offense too. Hammer, tell me about the Titans real quick.
Titans, they're kind of a boring team when you look at it. Obviously, it's kind of Derrick Henry or bust with them. Robert Woods had a bit of a breakout game, 4 catches, 85 yards on 9 targets. So you like that for Robert Woods?
He said a breakout, 4 catches.
85 yards, that's, I was going against Robert Woods, and for him, that was a breakout game. He really didn't do too much. But it was the Derrick Henry show, as well it should be. He rushed for 85 yards and a touchdown. He had another 5 grabs for 58 on 6 targets. So that looks really good.
I think it was one big play. One big catch, I think, right?
But even still, you still like the output. And for him to get 6 targets along with 20 carries, you'll sign up for that every single day.
Definitely. So King Henry stomped a mud hole in you this week.
That's fine. Listen, it happens. I've had Henry. That's fine. You could gloat all you want. But when you get to the playoffs in your fantasy team, we know how that goes. So talk to me when you get to the playoffs.
I will. And when I get to the playoffs and he stomps another mud hole in your ass, then you'll know.
Okay, Henry, we'll see.
I will say
we'll see when we get there, but that remains to be seen.
Now, Henry saved the day with his touchdown and the big catch that he had where he got most of his yardage out of. Because other than that, I mean, it doesn't look fucking great. He's averaging like, I think not even like 3 yards per carry on the season, which is pretty bad.
But it doesn't ever look great. But why you have Derrick Henry and why you play Derrick Henry is because Derrick Henry is gonna touch the ball
He gets
25 times a game.
He gets everything.
And that's why you got Derrick Henry.
First 2 weeks, he pretty much shit the bed.
And that's fine. He had a touchdown last week. You know what I'm saying?
He just doesn't look good. He's not. His yards per carry is horrible. That their offense just sucks. There's no.
Yeah, I think it's more along the offense and things like. I really think that the Titans would benefit from putting Malik Willis in like now. Yeah. I really do because
I picked him up.
Because just by having him and his ability to run the ball with Derrick Henry, now you can put them in so many RPOs and other things that it's like, how do you, as a defensive, how do you guard that? Because you know, Malik Willis can take off for 70 yards if you don't guard the corner. But if you stay home, that hammer is just going to hammer away into the middle. You know what I'm saying? So I think that offense would really benefit from a quarterback change right now. I don't think they're going to do it. But maybe if they lose a couple of more games, I thought that if they dropped this one to the Raiders, we might have saw some Malik Willis next week or the week after, but they pulled it out.
Yeah, they really did.
Treylon Burks, a little bit of a letdown game. It's just their offense is just so vanilla. It feels like that there's very little room for explosiveness there.
Yeah, but also with Treylon Burks is that he is now a full-time player. He's on the field every snap now. So I would take that. You know what I'm saying? He's
targets, bro.
Yeah, but that's because, you know, Ryan Tannehill's a puke piece. But
if he's out there, I mean, pick him up. He's a guy that could have later in the season could really start to, you know, be good. Don't expect much just, you know, right now, obviously, but later on in the season, he could be somebody if you want to buy low on him now if he's not out on waivers, depending how deep the league is. But all right, Chiefs and Colts.
I think this was the surprise of the day.
I second that motion. That game should have been over. Travis Kelce should have had a touchdown catch in the back of the end zone, and he just goofed it. Travis Kelce doesn't really do that. He doesn't really do that. And everybody wants to say, I see everybody saying, "Oh, sell high on Clyde Edwards-Helaire, sell high." But dude, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's just efficient, bro. When he is on the field, the touches he's getting, he's producing, and he's getting touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? So I like me some Clyde, man, and I think yesterday you saw a little bit of the Chiefs missing a little bit of that cheetah magic yesterday. It's just when Kelce is doubled up, he's covered tight. It's like, yeah, Juju had some work, but they just don't got that other guy. And I think you're going to see that a lot more along a little bit later in the season where Mahomes is just going to be running around. Look, you know, they're going to ask him to do a little bit too much because they just don't have that other guy. And Cheetah was so special for them. And you might have some games like this, you know what I'm saying? But because they still don't have a running game, the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? Edwards-Helaire, yeah, he runs a little bit, but you know, he's also getting touches as a receiver. So they don't have anything really that consists of a running game. So right now I just see the Chiefs as Travis Kelce, you know, because nobody has really gone off. All of those receivers that they got with you know, Valdez-Scantling, he hasn't gotten on the same page. And Juju, yeah, Juju's nice, but I told you what Juju was. You know what I'm saying?
Kenny Galladay stinks.
Yeah,
He
I mean,
stinks
there's not just one guy that's taken over. He's just spreading the ball around. That's
by
all. It's not
committee.
that they're not on the same page. I mean, like, he threw fucking 5 touchdowns first week, and then you saw what he did last week with those 2 touchdowns. Just unbelievable fucking throws for touchdowns. So I'm not worried about Mahomes one bit. And then, of course, like you said, Kelsey dropped the touchdown. You know, you're not even talking about Patrick Mahomes like that if Kelsey don't drop that shit. But
well, I'm not talking about Patrick
let
Mahomes. I'm
me
just
talk
talking
about your boy CEH, who I still hate. Yeah, he scored the touchdown, luckily. But I mean, 7 carries. McKinnon had 7 carries. Pacheco had 3 carries. Burton had a carry. Kelsey had a fucking carry. They're just not looking at CEH like that. And oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness is right.
So yeah, I mean, CEH 7 carries, and then he had another 5 catches for 39 yards. So I mean, that's where his work is going to come through. And I think over the course of the season, you'll see him kind of slow down a little bit. Yeah,
Just really quick, Blanc.
He is making good work of his touches. I will give him that. He's on a high-powered offense, so he is a guy you can be comfortable with, like in the flex. But you got to expect some down weeks are coming.
I really wish Tom Coughlin was on the sidelines when that punter just kicked it to Turpin.
And we're gonna give the game. We just gave the game away here.
But all right, Hammer, talk to me about the Colts.
They're weird. Sometimes Matt Ryan's turned into basically Jekyll and Hyde, right? You could get really decent Matt Ryan or really bad Matt Ryan at this particular point. Jonathan Taylor wasn't incredibly efficient. 21 carries, 71 yards, no touchdowns. So that's kind of a down game for him. That's really the floor. Michael Pittman really had a quiet first 3 quarters. Finished with 8 for 72 on 9 targets. So I really like Michael Pittman's ascension to kind of being that number 1 guy. So obviously he's going to be at the top of your wide receiver list. He's a perfect wide receiver 2 right now with wide receiver 1 upside. Good to see Alec Pierce get in the mix, get 3 catches on 5 targets, 60 yards. But yeah, not a overall impressive game. No turnovers for Matt Ryan. That's big. I still don't think he's a viable fantasy quarterback in a 1 QB league, maybe in a 2 QB league, right on the fritz of a QB2. But yeah, nothing special from the Colts. I think this game was more about the Chiefs than the Colts, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think the Colts stole one. There was just a lot of miscues for the Chiefs. Steve, your boy Sky Moore, he muffed the punt.
Yep.
You know, there's just a lot of mistakes for the Chiefs. But I do think the Colts need to get back to just giving Jonathan Taylor the ball like every first and second down. Like, just give him, he's your weapon. Give him the ball. I think they're getting too cute right now because they got Matt Ryan and they're trying to throw a little bit more. I'm seeing a lot more shotgun than I did see last year with them and things like that. And I just think that they need to get back to what they do good, and that's running the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he had 21 carries. He just wasn't
that efficient.
Yeah, that's the game.
But all right, Buffalo, Miami. Hammer, tell me about I don't know, either one of them. You pick.
I'll take Buffalo on this one. When you look at the final tally, Josh Allen went off. He had 400 yards, 2 touchdowns. I don't think he had any turnovers, no interceptions, no fumbles. Excuse me. But yeah, this is a real interesting game. Devin Singletary had 9 grabs on 11 targets. That was probably one of the more surprising things. Stephon Diggs is going to do what he does. A relatively quiet game for him, only 7 for 74. That's kind of, you're looking at the floor for him. 11 targets, though, as well. Isaiah McKenzie, another guy that's creeping onto that radar. I think Isaiah McKenzie's ascension is kind of leveling out Gabe Davis's ceiling and what he can do, because I think they're going to McKenzie a lot more, and that's kind of capping Gabe Davis's production. But the Bills have no running game to speak of. Josh Allen basically is their running game. Devin Singletary is not a factor out of the backfield in terms of running the football. But like I said, 9 carries. I had Devin Singletary on my bench, and he kind of had a monster game. I don't see him going
Had a
for
touchdown.
Yeah, nine grabs on 11 targets and a touchdown. But I don't see him doing that as much or as consistently, I should say. Our guy Dawson Knox, Blanc said he doesn't like Dawson Knox, and now I'm starting to understand why. I don't see how Josh Allen threw 60 fucking times, and Dawson Knox had 4 catches.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't get it.
It's just the offense. The offense doesn't really play well to the tight end. I feel
tight end touchdown dependent last year, and that's
So that might have been a whiff on my part in figuring that Josh Allen's ascension was going to at least put Dawson Knox in a top 12 kind of viable tight end, considering the position. But yeah, really, it was really Josh Allen just slinging the ball all over the place. He had a monster game from a fantasy standpoint. And then Devin Singletary and Mckenzie really cashed in with some big games in terms of catches and the touchdown apiece. So that was a surprising game, though, because I didn't expect
60 times.
Yeah, that's what I said. 63. Yeah. Crazy.
I didn't realize that. But don't you think even still, like for the wide receivers, it's a pretty shitty day? Like, I mean, yeah, Isaiah McKenzie had 9 targets, 7 for 76, but out of 63 fucking attempts, I mean.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, there were like 11 different guys who had a reception. So he spread the ball. He really spread the ball around. Obviously, the targets went to Singletary and Diggs with McKenzie and Gabe Davis, behind them. So that's kind of, I don't expect Devin Singletary to get 11 targets, but I think the emergence of Isaiah McKenzie is something to keep a look at, especially if you have Gabe Davis on your roster.
Well, yeah. I mean, you guys have known I've been talking about Isaiah McKenzie all fucking camp, all in the offseason. And I've been one to hate on Gabe Davis. And after that first game, everybody fucking came out like, Gabe Davis. But again, a perfect example here, 60-something attempts. And he just didn't have a good game. There's just other guys I just don't trust Gabe Davis with all the other guys there. Especially like you said, McKenzie coming up now. But Hammer. Bagala, tell me about the Dolphins.
I don't know how they won that game, by the way.
Yeah, first of all, the Dolphins shouldn't have won that game. Tua was very, I want to say, opportunistic with some of his throws and when he made plays. Now, like I said, one of the somebody chimed in the next about a trade with Tua, and it's just Tua's not going to really. I don't see those big games that he had against Baltimore. For whatever reason, Baltimore decided to let Cheetah and Waddle just run free through the secondary, like get a hand on somebody. But I think Tua's going to be solid. He's solid. He's okay. You know what I'm saying? Waddle, Cheetah, they're going to get their work. You know what I'm saying? Chase Edmonds had a touchdown. He's the clear back there. And 2 touchdowns, and he can also catch the ball a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So those are really those 3 guys and that you're gonna want in that offense. But Tua went up against a good defense, even the defense that was missing their 2 top safeties, and he couldn't really push the ball down the field. So and it's just I think Tua's going to be good, but I think we have to temper expectations. I mean, we love that big game with those 2 wide receivers, but I don't think that we're going to see much more of that, if any. I think usually it's going to be one or the other that really has a big game. This week it was Waddle. Waddle had the big catch, downfield, and they find a way to pull it out. I mean, Tua escaped. He shouldn't have been back in that game.
Yeah,
that was crazy. You know what I'm saying?
They tried to say it was his back, I think, or something.
But yeah,
looking at it.
I don't know about that.
Looking at it, so
I don't know about that. But he came back. He won the game. But like I said, against a good defense, he struggled to crack 200 yards. And I think maybe we we get caught up in all of the gaudy numbers from a week before, but take a look at that, because every week you're not going to be playing bad defenses. You got to get it done against some of the good ones, and the 2 touchdowns saved him right there. He ended up winning the game, but it wasn't necessarily a big game. But
No.
Dolphins at 3-0. It's a good team, good players to have. They got explosive weapons, but
now
we just gotta, Tua gotta pick it up.
Don't forget, Tua did come out. And he was 13 of 18. He didn't fucking play bad. He only had 18 pass attempts, so 186 is not, crazy bad. But obviously, he had a touchdown in there.
They only had the ball for like 19 minutes that whole game.
Yeah, they didn't have the ball at all.
That's what I'm saying. So, that's not always going to happen. But even still, obviously, he was decent. I know you said Chase Edmonds is the guy, but is he? 6 carries, 1 target? I don't know.
Well,
he did have the 2 touchdowns, which was great, but is that going to continue to happen? I mean, I don't know. Mostert is getting work. I mean, I liked Chase Edmonds as the favorite running back out of that backfield, but I mean, it's not like he's killing it out there every week,
No, but that game script was a little bit weird yesterday, and I think that kind of attributed to, what Chase's stat line looked like. I think he's more or less, they're going to try and get Chase at least 15 touches a game if they can, between running the ball, maybe 10 carries here, a couple of receptions and stuff like that. Jesus Christ, we can't block nobody. And just it's fucking bullshit. But yeah.
But that's the thing that worried, because even last game, I mean, Mostert had 11 carries. But
do we expect Raheem Mostert to hold up the whole season? No.
It's not about that. But that's the thing, is they're kind of mixing the guys in so that they don't have to worry about the injuries. I mean, I don't know. Chase just hasn't been out there for the majority of even the snap. Even last week, his snap percentage, 44% of the snaps. He didn't even play half the damn snaps. The week before that, he played 51% of the snaps. So I don't know. It's tough. I think you just got to wait and go and going forward. The 2 touchdowns obviously was great, but I don't know. All right, let's move on to the next one quick. Bengals Jets. Hammer, tell me about the Bengals. You Chase and Burrow lover.
Yeah, that's my guy, Joe Burrow. If there was ever a get right game for Joe Burrow, here you go, right? 275, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, Joe Burrow, no turnovers. I asked you after week 1 to clean it up. You were able to clean it up for me. So a really good game. Jamar Chase, kind of a no-show. He did have the touchdown to kind of salvage the day. It was really the Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins show.
Sauce locked him up.
Which is fine. I mean, and Joe Burrow, call it what you want, but I like the fact that Joe Burrow didn't force it to him. You know what I mean? And he has other weapons out there in Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins, who T. Higgins is on the radar, but I was more surprised to see Tyler Boyd have the big game. He had the long run, obviously, the long catch, 56-yarder. So Tyler Boyd, the really big game. Chase did have 10 targets, so you still like the targets there. You still like the targets there, and he got the touchdown. Joe Mixon was a no-show in this one, but overall a clean game by the Bengals. They were up early and pretty much all over in control of that game. So not a whole lot surprised me out of this game. I just like that Joe Burrow came out of it clean and kind of had a really nice kind of bounce back game in terms of fantasy production with no
this turnovers. Guy fucking Graham Gano.
Mixon got hurt. So if y'all didn't know,
roughing the kicker,
Mixon did get hurt.
That explains it.
I think he's day to day. I don't know if he's going to actually miss time or not. But yeah, he did get hurt. And Chase, I mean, he had 6 for 29. Obviously, the yardage wasn't there, but he had the touchdown and he had 10 targets. So, that's not locking up 6 out of 10. Obviously, the yardage was good, but yeah, Tyler Boyd, and then Higgins, of course, got smashed again, though.
Yeah, he did.
He got rocked.
Yeah,
that made me nervous. Also, too, Jamar Chase lost a fumble, which kind of pissed me off. So that kind of negated a little bit of his modest production day anyway.
But all right, Bagala, tell me about the Jets. Let me just throw out there, as I've been saying, Tyler Conklin, 8 for 84. I just want to throw that out there. Because I've been calling Conklin. But go ahead, Bagala.
Yeah, Tyler Conklin. That's what happens when you have Joe Flacco throwing the ball. He's just gonna dump it. The Jets really need Zach Wilson to get into this lineup to see what he can do, because I feel like the Jets got some weapons, man.
They do.
They got Garrett Wilson, who is, you saw what he did in the Browns game. Garrett Wilson can ball.
10 more targets.
I'm high on Garrett.
10 more targets yesterday.
Exactly. I'm high on Garrett Wilson. He did get a little nicked up, but he came back into the game. They still have Elijah Moore. He's yet to get started. And a good thing to see for those Michael Carter, Breece Hall owners, Breece Hall is starting to take over this backfield.
Almost preseason, baby.
He's starting to get a lot more of the snaps, a lot more of the carries, but that doesn't go to say that, Michael Carter won't get anything, because I still think Michael Carter is a really good back, and I think he can catch the ball out of the backfield and do those things. But Breece Hall is coming, and I think
11.
I think we will see a lot more of Breece once Zach gets back, and once Zach gets back and Zach gets rolling and things like that, you'll see a lot more of Breece. And I think this offense should look a little bit better. I like the weapons the Jets have. I can't front, It just, they have to put it all together, and that's kind of what the Jets are, The Jets will fuck up a wet dream if you let them. So, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. They got to get it right sometime. You know what I'm saying? And I do like what I see from Zach Wilson when he plays. Zach looks like he can throw the ball and things like that. But I think he's still a week off from coming back. If not this week, he'll probably be back the week after.
Let's break a big one, Pollard. Let's go.
It's interesting.
Steve, next game, Steve, because you're pissing me off. Let's get through this before I
slam mad at me, baby. But yeah, Breece looks good. Like I've always said, it's going to take a little while till he actually gets the reins. But you're starting to see how good he fucking is. All right, Eagles and Commanders. I would have played Devonta Smith. Tell me about the Eagles.
Yeah, I would have played Devonta Smith because if you watch football, you can tell that Washington's cornerbacks are trash.
After the fact, yeah, sure you would have.
No, it's not after the fact. I would have played Devonta Smith over Brandon Cooks.
Okay.
The matchup is just you don't have to, but this is what I'm telling you. The matchup is just calls for you to play Devonta Smith.
Why would you get 0 catches the first game?
That's one game, and then he got more targets in the second game when they smashed your Vikings. Okay,
Woo!
and then they went up against a Commanders team that that first game. Let's say what you want, they might have lost, but Trevor Lawrence was slinging the rock. They gave up 100 yards to Christian Kirk. Those Commanders. So what I'm saying. Fucking and and then the second week, St. Brown just went crazy on the Commanders. So it's like if you watch the games, you could tell you should play Devonta Smith. The Eagles are rolling on all cylinders right now. They're probably the best team in the NFC right now.
Tony Pollard's running on all cylinders.
Their defense is insane.
Now you're going to play Devonta Smith.
Huh?
A lot of people had Devonta on the bench. I saw a lot of people didn't play Devonta last week.
Now you're going to tell people to play them.
Of course.
Well,
now you can see they're actually getting him. Well, that's what I'm saying. One game with 0 and then one game with 7 targets, and it's like, okay, what are we supposed to believe here? And they had a real explosive game. I think that first game, for him to not be involved, it was just You know.
You know.
Yeah, but that was an
those are
show.
chances that I don't know who you've got to choose between, but those are some tough decisions early on to choose that where you don't really know.
Yeah, but as we see
are.
now, you see what Jalen Hurts is doing. Jalen Hurts is more than capable of spreading the ball around. Like he looks like a decent quarterback, doesn't he? You know what I'm saying? He looks really good. Jalen Hurts looks really good, and I think Jalen Hurts is a early favorite for MVP. If you have Jalen Hurts, you're super stoked right now. He runs it, he throws it, he does everything. You know what I'm saying?
He got the weapons.
He got the weapons. He's running, he's throwing it. He hasn't turned it over yet. You know what I'm saying? So
you know who's really good? Tony Pollard.
Like, no, he's not.
And Miles Sanders still is a bum. But tell me about the Commander. Tell me about the Commander.
I still like Miles Sanders.
Bum. Go ahead, Hammer. Washington.
Well, what is there to say? They stink.
Wentz came back to earth.
Oh God! And you know what? I expected, because I have Carson Wentz in redraft because Dak Prescott got hurt. And I expected the Commanders to lose this game, but I expected them to get down early, which they did, and I expected Carson Wentz to give me some garbage time points, and that just never materialized. Antonio Gibson did have a touchdown, but pretty dismal production from a efficiency standpoint. Terry McLaurin had a really nice game, 6 for 102. Curtis Samuel, who Bagalash trying to pawn off onto me, he's trying to pawn Curtis Samuel. Telling me that he's the second coming of Jerry Rice. So basically, those were his exact words.
No, but in the 3 games, he has a ton of targets. He had 11 targets this past yesterday.
I think it's official now to say that Samuel is
on the radar.
Is on the radar now. I think we have to at this point. He just looks good. I mean, what did I tell you about Dotson, Hammer? What the fuck did I tell you last week?
That's fine. That's fine.
I said watch. No. I know. I'm just saying. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying what I said. I said, watch me play Dotson this week, and he fucking gives me.
You did say that. You did say that. But
because those 5 targets a game is just not going to cut it.
But he had 8 targets, which is pretty.
No.
good.
Yeah, I was talking about the first 2 games. But
right.
Yeah.
The thing with Dotson is, as I was saying about Gabe Davis, is now that they're giving Curtis Samuel double-digit targets, that's going to cap Dotson. Mm-hmm. That's going to cap his ceiling. So now that we know after 3 weeks that Curtis Samuel is going to be heavily involved in this particular offense, not only did he get 10 targets, he got another 3 carries on the ground. So he's going to eat up some of those touches. If he's getting 15 total opportunities, 10 to 15 total opportunities between targets and rushes, that's going to cap certain guys. And Dotson is going to be one of those guys that is a little limited in his ceiling. But other than that, really the guys you want are Terry McLaurin. And, you could look at Gibson. He got the touchdown, but not efficient. He might be really sliding down to that flex territory for Gibson, in my estimation. But yeah, Curtis Samuel, I think the biggest takeaway from this particular game is that Curtis Samuel is on the radar.
Gibby's days are numbered.
Yeah, Brian Robinson is about to come
back. Gibby's his days are numbered. We're seeing Brian Robinson start running routes now. He's warming up before the games.
This is actually a game. This is a big third down here for the Giants.
This is a fucking huge third down right here.
All right,
this is the game.
Oh, you're still ahead, are you?
I didn't spoil it.
Yes.
All right, Panthers and Saints. Michael Thomas, I think, got banged up.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, foot.
Which we talked about.
Clock was ticking. But go ahead.
Which we talked about.
Bagala, you like Mikey Thomas, don't you?
I have Kamara, so I guess I'll take the Saints. It's a big loss for them. Huge loss. For the Saints if they lose him for an extended amount of time. But Chris Olave has
emerged.
Ding dong. Yep. He's here. And he's just their best pass catcher. Say what you. He's the most explosive one they have. So you know what I'm saying. Michael Thomas, he's still gonna bully people. He's still gonna catch his slants. You know, slant boy. He'll get the touchdowns.
I knew that was coming.
He'll get the touchdowns if he's in there. He'll get the touchdowns if he's in there down by the goal line. Jameis needs to he needs to
get his
stop
shit
turning
together.
the ball over. Yeah. He needs to get his shit together. And he is back. But also the Saints, Dennis Allen, you got to find a way to get your best player the ball. Your best player is Alvin Kamara. You have to find some way. Alvin Kamara is a running back, yes, but we all know Alvin Kamara does his best work out in space. You need to get some more screens going. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know Kamara was banged up this game or whatever, but
he had 7 targets.
He had 7 targets, but you know, just fucking run it, Danny. But he had 7 targets, but I just think more of just the play calling and things like that need to be shifted, because you saw it with Sean Payton. You know, you saw it with Sean Payton, and
just really quick for everybody out there, we got the Giants game about a minute and change to go. Giants got an opportunity to drive for the touchdown. So if we get a little distracted, we got the final moments of the Giants game going.
Or if it cuts off the screen, he broke something.
Like the Dolphins. Did you see the Dolphins? The Bills' offensive coordinator lose his
Ken
shit?
Dorsey. He lost it.
He
absolutely. That's gonna be me if Daniel Jones throws an interception. But I just feel like they got to find better ways to get Kamara the ball. He's your best player. Chris Olave, I think he could be something going forward. Michael Thomas, if he's healthy, he's still a wide receiver 3. He'll get his targets, he'll get his looks. I just think the explosive plays out of this Saints offense, I think, are going to come from Olave and Kamara when he gets healthy again. And Jameis, even though he had the 2 interceptions, he still threw for 300 yards. But Jesus Christ, he has to be better. Jameis has to be a lot better for the Saints to do anything, because they got a really good defense, and they could be something if Jameis is just something, so there you go.
Where were we? Panthers, real quick.
The takeaway from the Panthers game is that Baker Mayfield sucks, as I've been saying.
And we told you that, Steve.
DJ
Moore's gonna have the best year of his career. He has an upgrade at quarterback. No, he's not an upgrade.
It ain't over.
They need to go back to Sam.
It did piss me off that Shenault is the one that catches the fucking screen pass. That was bullshit. But I would hope they get it together somewhat going forward. But go ahead, Hammer.
The target volume also, too, for DJ Moore is kind of capped. He's getting exactly 6 targets in each game. For a guy like DJ Moore, you kind of want to get those up into double digit to have his ceiling. And I know we talked about in a couple of different episodes. Shit. Oh, man. Danny Dime strikes again.
I can't put that on them. The fucking receiver fell down.
So I think DJ Moore. I talked about this before. I think he's a really good football player, but I just think his ceiling is capped, bro. I just don't see him being anything more than a wide receiver 2. Christian McCaffrey did his thing.
Oh shit!
What happened?
Shep got hurt again.
I didn't even see what happened. Christian McCaffrey had a solid game, but he had 100 yards, but still he didn't have a touchdown, and he's not really getting targeted really heavy in the passing game. When Christian,
because they have Baker Mayfield.
no arguments here. And to be honest with you, I don't like Christian McCaffrey over the course of the season getting 25 rushing attempts. I don't like it. I don't like it. He should have 17 rushing attempts and 10 targets in the passing game. That's how I would feel comfortable with Christian McCaffrey, because as we've seen, Christian McCaffrey taking a pounding, he will get hurt. So that's one of the takeaways for me. I thought the Saints were going to win this game. I'll be honest with you.
I did too.
Shenault obviously had the big catch, and that was about it. Christian McCaffrey, 25 carries, 100 yards. That's fine. Like I said, I don't like the rushing attempts for him that high over the course of the season, and expect him to be able to stay upright. So other than that, not a whole lot to talk about with Carolina. Ooh, geez.
Yeah, I mean, I know, Baker's not great, but at the same time, just like, with Pitts, how he wasn't really involved, they fucking got him involved and they needed to get him the ball. They know that obviously is one of their best players. At some point, the coaching staff has got to design some of these plays for DJ
Baker
Moore specifically. He
Baker,
does, but they're not even trying to get him the football enough, even though Baker is playing bad.
Baker can't get him the ball. He stinks.
Yeah.
We told you this.
Like I said, they need to design shit to get him the ball. That's what they need to do. If they're not,
we told him this, right, Polish?
We did.
We didn't. He was screaming. Oh yeah,
listen,
DJ Moore's going to have 10 touchdowns.
I agree with you that Baker Mayfield is not a great quarterback. We know that going in, but he's good enough to where the coaching staff has got to get the ball in the playmakers' hands. Just like
hamstrings mighty
talking
strong
about with Pitts, and that's what they went and did. Like we're talking about with Devonta Smith, first game donut, right? And then they get Devonta Smith involved. They're not.
Steve, this is not about Kyle Pitts. This is not about Devonta Smith.
It's
not about scheming DJ Moore.
The coaching staff makes the plays to get them involved. Don't say no. You know damn right that's true.
No.
Because they let it on Jalen Hurts, and Devonta Smith had nothing the first game.
No.
And they've got him involved. So, yes, the coaching staff has got to get them involved.
Baker stinks.
Just like Hackett,
are pretty
Hackett's
strong.
not getting the ball to Javonte. What is happening here?
Yeah, we got a little pile up in the Giants, Cowboys.
Yeah, they're mad because they took Shep out. Y'all suck anyway.
No, Shep
took himself out.
No, Shep, he busted. He
looked fine coming off the
ACL.
Really?
No, he was. Yeah, but he was walking, and it just gave out on him.
Really?
Yeah, that's a non-contact. You don't like to see that.
Yeah, no, he wasn't walking. He was jogging, and then he tried to come to a stop, and
that's all she wrote.
Yeah, that was it.
All right, let's run through these other ones quick. Jags Chargers. I know we kind of touched on that a little bit. Jaguars Chargers, but
I'm a big believer in the Jacksonville Jaguars, kid.
Yeah, they're solid.
Jacksonville solid. They play solid defense. T. Law's looking really good. Both of those running backs, ETM for whatever he's getting, his catches or whatever, he's still doing work. James Robinson looks okay coming back from the Achilles. You got to hope he doesn't break down. But I told you Christian Kirk was gonna ball out this year, and you said, no, he's a bum. He stinks.
He is a bum.
Christian Kirk's a baller.
He's playing well,
and he's squarely in the wide receiver 2 conversation. He's getting targets. He's catching the ball. He's getting yardage. He has 3 touchdowns already on the season. Now, if I didn't have to start him next week against Philly, I wouldn't be. But
now, what do you think about What do you think about Zay Jones? 10 for 85 on 11 targets.
Zay Jones is a sneaky pickup too. Those receivers, bro, and it's like it's kind of guys besides Christian Kirk because they gave him all of the money, but Zay Jones and Marvin, it's just guys you don't expect to be, like doing what they're doing. And Trevor Lawrence is really slinging the rock, dude. Doug Peterson has done wonders for Trevor Lawrence. He really has.
Go ahead, Bagla.
It's just like he has a grown up at coach. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what Urban Meyer was doing.
We know what he was doing.
Yeah, and it's just the game plan, everything, down to everything. He really, sorry. he really has T-Law playing really good football right now, and I think we can see this continue for the rest of the season as long as T-Law doesn't start turning the ball over.
Just to really touch on that, and I truly felt at the beginning of the season, the development of Trevor Lawrence was going to be the key to all of the Jacksonville Jaguars skill position players, because I don't think they're bad players. We saw Zay Jones make some plays with the Raiders. We saw him flash some stuff, but we didn't really look at him as any kind of consistent guy.
This is his third stop. You know, he came with Buffalo, drafted him, then he went to the Raiders. Now he's here in Jacksonville.
Right. And then obviously Christian Kirk, we saw pop a little more last year because of the injury to D-Hop in Arizona. Obviously, AJ Green kind of not really that guy anymore. So Christian Kirk, and they handed Christian Kirk the #1 opportunity, and he's taken it and ran with it. And the development of Trevor Lawrence can't be understated. And I'm going to say this and say it again. Justin Fields needs to watch some Trevor Lawrence tape and take some notes, because Trevor
he just needs some Doug Peterson in his life. Yeah. I told you,
we knew the talent was there. The talent was there for Trevor Lawrence, you know.
Yeah, but me and Polish spoke about this a lot, and what like Doug Peterson was gonna do for him. Just because Doug Peterson is a quarterback's coach, he's quarterback friendly. You see what he did.
He won a quarterback
with the exactly. You saw what he did. He won the Super Bowl with the Eagles. It didn't matter if Carson Wentz was playing. It didn't matter if Big Dick Nick was playing.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying? He went. You know what I'm saying? He's a quarterback guru, and I thought he was going to do wonders for T-Law, and it's showing up in the first 3 games.
Yeah, the weapons are there. Robinson, Etienne, Bagala, you listed them all out. Evan Ingram had a drop touchdown in the end zone. I think
that's what he does. I don't want to speak about Evan.
No, he caught. It wasn't a drop touchdown. He didn't get his feet down.
His foot was off. Yeah, his foot wasn't.
I thought it was a touchdown. I was like, oh, let's go, and then
goes in the book as a drop, Steve.
What doesn't?
Well, either way, he didn't catch it. But yeah, I guess I'll take the Chargers. The biggest takeaway from the Chargers game wasn't anything about the passing game. Austin Eckler is not playing very well. He's not producing compensatory with where you took him, which was absolutely the first round. Austin Eckler didn't make it past the first round, I'm pretty sure, in any draft, and he is not producing. 4 carries. And he had 8 targets in the passing game, 8 for 48. And that's kind of what you expect from Eckler, but 4 carries. Austin Eckler's kind of that Christian McCaffrey mold where you expect 15, 16 rushes and then 8 to 10 targets in the passing game. So Austin Eckler, for where you drafted him as your top overall or your #1 first-round draft pick, is not producing like a first-round draft pick. And that's pretty upsetting. Mikey Williams, 1 for 15 on 6 targets. That was kind of a little bit of a letdown. He did have the touchdown, which kind of salvaged the day. And Mike Williams is a big play guy, and they're going to look for him in the red zone. But overall, the Chargers offense kind of stunk. Josh Palmer, we talk about him. If Keenan or Mikey Williams is hurt, Josh Palmer's the guy. I know Jalen Guyton had a big catch, but Guyton got hurt. I think he's going to be out for quite some time.
He's done for the season.
He's done for the season, right? So that's even more of a reason to go out. Josh Palmer, he's on the radar. If you don't have him, go pick him up on the waiver wire. Josh Palmer.
Yeah, I mean, some people probably picked him up maybe after last week or once Keenan got hurt. But, yeah, I mean, Eckler, I think he only had 4 carries because of the game script. They were just getting their ass kicked, and they had to throw the ball. So I'm not really worried about
but he hasn't been good all season.
But he hasn't been producing, and like – I mean, last year was a ceiling. I mean, 20 touchdowns last year. That was huge.
That was good. That was going to be hard to do again.
And not that I didn't like him. I just stayed away because of where you have to draft him. You have to draft him in the first round if you want him. And I just didn't feel like I wanted to draft him there. So I just didn't draft Eckler at all this year.
Listen, he's still he's still number 13 running back overall. But as Blanc said, he should be top 5 with where you drafted him based on his role and his level of expected production. We didn't expect him to get 20 touchdowns, but even if you're looking at a 20-25% reduction, you're still looking at double-digit touchdowns, 12 to 15 between rushing and receiving, and he's nowhere close to that. I don't think he has a single touchdown on the season, and we're going into the 4th week.
Yep.
That's a problem.
Yep. All right. Rams and Cardinals. Bagala, tell me about your boy Kyler Murray.
Yeah, well, he always struggles against the Rams. The Rams just got his number. But even though they lost the game, him and Hollywood look good together.
Yeah, Hollywood, 17
him,
targets.
him,
Jesus.
him and Hollywood look real good together.
Which we kind of expected the first month and a half.
Yeah, but I know Hollywood's happy to be out of that Ravens offense. He's actually getting the ball thrown to him. And he's doing solid work with it. And Kyler, he didn't have a touchdown, but Kyler's floor is he's always gonna have a safe floor because of the rushing, the running around. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those guys that can throw for over 300 yards, and if he gets going, he can run for over 100 yards. You know what I'm saying? So, he threw for over 300. Hollywood he looks awesome. A guy, Greg Dortch, if you don't have him yet, go get him. At least till you got a few more weeks before D-Hop comes back. You can spot start him. I don't know what his output's gonna look like after D-Hop comes back, but he's doing work now. It's basically him and Hollywood because AJ Green, I don't know. Did the Monster steal his talent? I don't know.
He's getting older, bro. He's getting older.
Yeah, but come on. There was some plays there where he should have caught the ball, dude. You know what I'm saying? And he just goofed it. He dropped it. Yeah. So it's basically Hollywood, Dortch, Connor got some work there. He was a little bit banged up going into the game, so I think we saw a little bit more of Eno Benjamin and Darrell Williams. But once Connor gets full, but that's the book on Connor. We know somebody that calls him Blue Tent James Connor or James Blue Tent Connor. So that's where he ends up half the time. And shout out to Chicken right there. Yeah, but
he did have 13 carries. I mean, they still gave him the ball. He just did absolutely nothing with it.
Yeah, well, and it was a tough matchup. The Rams, like I said, the Rams just have the Cardinals number. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Let me hit you on Dortch real quick because I have him. I wound up playing him. But Dortch, I think it's more of Rondale Moore being out as a little more than D-Hop. Obviously, he might take a hit when D-Hop comes back, but he's playing like that slottish kind of role where when D-Hop comes back, it might be Hollywood and D-Hop on the outside, and then you've got Dortch there or Rondale Moore, really.
Yeah, but if Rondale Moore was healthy right now, the way A.J. Brown looks, I think Greg Dortch will still be on the field, dude. Not A.J. Brown, A.J. Green. A.J. Green just does not look good. Yeah, he doesn't look good.
Oh, he's not.
And so
I think he got hurt. Actually, I think he went down a foot or an ankle. I don't know if he came back in the game or not. But
yeah, so I still think Dortch would be getting some playing time, even if Rondale Moore was a little bit was healthy. But it's gonna be Kyler. You know what I'm saying? Kyler's gonna be the magician there, and I have Kyler and Hollywood. I like that combination. So. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking to make a trade for a wide receiver, maybe you can try and go get a Hollywood, because I think he's going to be really good this year.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get him now after 14 catches.
Well, yeah.
All right, Hammer, tell me about the Rams quick, and then we'll run through the rest of these 3 games.
Cooper Kupp is really good at football. He just does everything. This was a kind of pedestrian game from his standard, if you really look at it. He only had 6 targets, 4 grabs, 44 yards, but he did turn an end around into a 20-yard rushing touchdown. So Cooper Kupp is just absolutely amazing. He's on my Dynasty team, and I just love every single game going in with Cooper Kupp, knowing he's going to put up some points. But I guess the main takeaway, though, as we've been talking about with this Rams backfield, Cam Akers, 12 carries, Darrell Henderson, only 4. Cam Akers turned that into 61 yards and a touchdown, so that's 5 yards a clip, so that'll work. Also, too, where did Allen Robinson go again? Like, what? So
he had a few drops. He had a
but
few drops.
but that's
I
a
think
little concern.
he dropped another touchdown, and somebody else dropped
Yes,
a
he did.
touchdown too.
So that's a little concerning for me in terms of Allen Robinson, because there's this guy out there, Skoranek, who's
Yeah, he's playing pretty good.
he's starting to pop off the page a little bit. And if Allen Robinson keeps goofing, Skoranek is going to find himself with a couple more opportunities per game. But it wasn't a crazy offensive shootout that maybe we thought it was going to be between Stafford and Kyler. So, you know, it wasn't a whole lot to go around. It was really, you know, Cam Akers and Cooper Kupp with that touchdown. Matthew Stafford, pretty pedestrian, 250 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions.
Shitty.
So, you know, that's
shitty.
That's no bueno on that end. But yeah, it's really
not gonna cut
it's really, bro, Cam Akers is back on the map a little bit. You have to still kind of monitor it. I don't know if you could play one guy or the other at this point, but Cam Akers, he's getting.
You don't know on any given week who's gonna get the touches in that backfield.
You don't.
And to the Matt Stafford point, Matt Stafford does not look good. He doesn't look bad, but he's not looking the way he looked last year, and he's been very pedestrian.
Well, he did.
Matt Stafford needs to pick it up.
They were talking about that elbow injury that pitchers have, and is that a factor that they're not talking about? We don't know.
It's not like he's missing on shit. He's just not playing good. Like,
he's not playing good right now.
Altogether, like everything, they just don't have their flow like how they had it. You know.
Also,
it just looks like something's missing.
Yeah.
Also, too, Cam Akers lost a fumble, so that could factor into the backfield and how that starts to, you know, how that continuous, you know, Rubik's cube that is the Rams' backfield.
Yeah, I'm just staying away altogether. All right, let's hit this next one real quick. Falcons Seahawks.
Ooh, I love me some Drake London.
Go ahead, give me the Falcons.
For real. I love me some Drake London. Yeah, Drake London's in your lineup. You can kind of plug him in there as your wide receiver 2 flex or wide receiver 3 flex and feel real good about it. He has a terrific rapport with Marcus Mariota. Cordero Patterson, do your thing, kid. Damn, the Vikings let Cordero Patterson go, and he just goes to Atlanta and turns into a beast. 17 carries for $141. That'll work, and a touchdown. So Cordero Patterson and Drake London are the guys to take a look at. Kyle Pitts broke out, five catches on 8 targets, 87 yards.
But they still need to try and get him the ball a lot more. Like, they're not doing enough,
particularly
when it comes down to him.
Particularly inside the 20. And I think, and just based off the first 3 games that I've seen with Atlanta, number one, Atlanta can move the ball. They're not going to be a stagnant offense. They can move the ball. They have some high explosive guys with Patterson, with Drake London, with Kyle Pitts, with Marcus Mariota running around a little bit. I was thinking about picking up Mariota, but he's still he can do some dumb things here and there, but he's going to move the ball for them. So they're going to have productive guys to pick up for your fantasy team. The one thing I just want to touch on with Kyle Pitts real quick, while he did have a good game, I think Drake London getting a lot of those red zone looks is gonna cap Kyle Pitts' touchdown output going forward.
But they gotta give Pitts looks anywhere, dude. It just seems like he had a good game, but he's still not running enough routes on Mariota's dropbacks. It's like you didn't draft him to be an inline blocker. He's one of those guys where you have to try and find ways to get him the ball.
To be fair, though, Cordero Patterson was the hot hand, and they kind of rode him for the majority of that
game. Mariota was 13 of 20, so we didn't have like a ton of attempts.
Right.
But Kyle Pitts did see 8 of those targets, which is literally almost 50%.
Right.
So that was good to see that after people started complaining, the coach decided to give Pitts the ball. He's like, this ain't fantasy. You're trying to win.
Do you
If
want to
you're
win
trying to
games?
win, you get the fucking ball to your guys, which is what I was saying about DJ Moore. So fuck off.
Baker
Right. Tell me about the Seahawks, Bagala.
What does it tell you about Seahawks? Fucking, I'm really I like what I'm seeing. They're getting Kenneth Walker a little bit more involved, but your boy Steve, where's Rashad Penny been?
14 carries for 66 yards.
Yeah, he's garbage.
I mean, he almost averaged 5 yards a carry. I wouldn't say it's garbage.
How does that help you in fantasy? You said the same thing to Polish.
Well, yeah,
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Why do you think he's not on my team? Why do you think he's not starting?
It doesn't matter. You've been talking up Penny all year. Penny's garbage.
Gotta build up value, dog.
No. Yeah, Penny's garbage.
They're just playing. They're just not good.
Seahawks are a bad football team. DK had that touchdown catch, but I think you're gonna see those games from DK, and then I think you're gonna see a lot more of what we saw from him last week and the week before, and it's just gonna be a lot of up and down with Geno Smith, and God forbid if they put Drew Lock in, just throw in the towel with DK. Just throw it in because you're not gonna get anything. So. They're a bad football team. They're trying. I guess if you got DK, you have to play him. I don't know. When is it to the point where you say, "Yeah, I can't play DK"?
No, well, I think that was baked into his price when you drafted him. He wasn't going until 6th round.
No, he wasn't. He was going very low.
So it's not like people actually drafted him in the 2nd, 3rd round, or 4th round. If you did, then you shouldn't have. But that should have already been baked in the price. But yeah, if he right now, if you have him on your team, most likely, if you drafted correctly, he's like a wide receiver 3 or a flex kind of fringe option.
At best, yep.
But I just, for me with Seattle, I just want to see Kenneth Walker take over this backfield. He was running hard yesterday. They hit him on like a jet sweep kind of. He had a couple of carries. That's what I'm more looking at.
3 carries. I mean, I think towards the end of the season he'll start getting more work.
Yeah, I just want to see Kenneth Walker get more of an opportunity and pick it up a little bit.
It's not going to get much. They got Geno, so the box is loaded. I mean, it's rough.
Seattle's a bad team.
All right, Packers, Bucks. Packers luckily got away with one.
Yeah, they did.
I did pick the Packers to win this game, though.
I couldn't pick that game. It was a push.
Tell me about your pack, Hammer, quick. We got one more game after this.
I'll tell you what, those first couple of drives, they look really good. I mean, Aaron he might have found something in Romeo Doubs or Dubes or whatever you want to call him. But he could be a player for them. Alan Lazard is back. Alan Lazard is a viable target. Aaron Jones got crushed by Vita Vea down at the goal line. That was hard to watch. And
that's not fair. It's 350 pounds playing in coverage.
That's right.
I would have fumbled too.
Right. So the Pack were up 14-3. It looks like they were going to go up 21-3, and that game would have been well in hand because the Bucs don't have a ton of offensive weapons. But more from Green Bay's side, for me, right now, that's fair. For me, once a turnover happens, Aaron Rodgers just goes into this weird shell where he just doesn't want to take any more chances. He did throw an interception. And once that sort of thing happens with Aaron, he becomes very skittish. He's like a cat on the freeway. And that game was thoroughly dominated by the Packers. They didn't have the huge offensive output. I was happy to see them win. Obviously, that's my team. But really offensively, Romeo Doubs was a big takeaway. Alan Lazard is definitely still on the flex radar if you have him, in your lineups. Sammy Watkins is hurt. Christian Watson didn't play. The fossilized carcass of Randall Cobb is still out there making plays.
The
fossilized carcass is still making plays. So overall, there's very few and far between. Obviously, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, those are the two main guys you want. I don't even know if you could really play Aaron Rodgers in a 1-quarterback league. I think there's just way more better options from a fantasy production standpoint. So Romeo Doubs is definitely on the radar as far as I'm concerned, and that's really the biggest takeaway from a fantasy standpoint on the Packers side.
Yeah, Jubes was good. I knew him and Lazard were just excellent plays because they literally had no other wide receivers, so they had to throw
Yeah.
the ball to somebody.
Well, those are their wide receivers.
They're only
You
wide
know,
receivers. I know.
yeah.
Tell me about your Tom Brady. I know you had asked the question, Brady or Winston. Who'd you wind up playing?
I played Brady.
Which
listen, right now, I'm not counting anything against Tom Brady. He has nobody to throw to right now. So if I have him. Right now, what the Bucs are going to do, they're going to play really tight defense, really good defense, and play really good defense, and they're going to hold it, and hopefully Tom Brady can make some plays at the end, and that's going to be their offense until they get Mike Evans back, until Chris Godwin comes back,
until Tom Brady makes a call to Rob Gronkowski and says, "Let's go."
Till Gronk comes, let's go. But until he gets his guys back and things like that, this is what the Bucs are going to look like. And Tom is going to, maybe he'll have a good game here and there, but he's not going to light it up like he did last year until he gets his guys back. But I feel like maybe, week 6, week 7, excuse me, they get Godwin back. You know what I'm saying? Evans doesn't punch any more people in the face. He doesn't get suspended. Then I think, you're going to start seeing Tom take off a little bit. But up until then, it's going to be very, 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 very tough, I want to say, for Tom and everybody.
Yeah.
Is Russell Gage on your radar at all?
He should. Yes, Russell Gage should be on people's radar just because that's all Tom has right now. But even still, when those other two guys come back, I think that's when Russell Gage is going to take off, really, because he can be that slot guy for Tom, where Tom can hit him on those underneath routes. And I think that is where Russell Gage is going to have even bigger games, you could say. But the touchdowns are coming for Tampa Bay. Just hold and wait. If you have Mike Evans, you're lucky enough to have Mike Evans because he's the red zone target there. And if you have Chris Godwin, just hold on to him because once Godwin gets healthy, he's going to come back. He's going to be a beast.
Yeah.
And I think that's when Tom Brady will take off and everything will be okay with Tom. And you'll start saying, watch out for Buccaneers. Tom Brady's going to win his 10th ring.
Yeah. All right, we got 2 questions here. Thanks for joining in, guys. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll let Bagala answer this one first, okay? Evening, guys, was wondering who you guys prefer rest of the season between Devonta Smith and Brandon Ayuk. It's actually a really good.
I'm gonna take the guy with the better quarterback, and I'm gonna take the guy with the better team. I'm going to take Devonta Smith because, it's AJ, it's Devonta. You get down in San Francisco, they run the ball a ton. Jimmy G's back there, so he's not as good as Hurts. Jimmy G loves him some Kittle. The moment Jimmy G got in there, you saw Kittle getting work last night, and it's Debo. So before Ayuk. You got the run game, you got Debo, you got Kittle. So I like Ayuk, but I think Devonta Smith's a better player.
Kittle had 5 targets. Ayuk had 8, tied with Debo for the lead on the team. Just wanted to
but it was a funny game. Ayuk is not going to get 8 targets every game. He's not going to get close to that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Are you sure?
Maybe because they're putting Debo in the backfield. Maybe Ayuk is a little bit more viable.
Devonta Smith has a higher ceiling, easily.
Yes.
Yeah, if you want to look at the ceiling, then definitely Devonta Smith has the higher ceiling.
But I don't know. I just don't like Ayuk.
But I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Devontae as well, even though I do like.
Now you're gonna go with Devontae,
especially for the rest of the season.
Now you're gonna do it, right?
Now that you see that he's involved in the offense, when he had the donut the first game, you don't play a guy like that.
Yeah, anyway, after you told all of these people not to play him and sit him down for Brandon Cooks.
He does.
Your hamstrings are mighty strong. Mighty strong. I love that back pedal.
You can't go off. How is that a back pedal? We're not even talking about Brandon Cooks, you fuck. But anyway, Devonta Smith does still scare me. Yes, he had a great game. That's not going to happen every game. I think we all know that. A.J. Brown is the guy who's going to get the ball most of the time. The Eagles are not going to score 40 points every fucking game. But I do like Ayuk, but the ceiling is definitely going to be higher on Devontae because of the offense that they're in. But Ayuk is going to give you a very decent floor. I mean, even last year he had almost 7-8 targets a game, 10, 7, 6, 8. So he's still going to be targeted, and Jimmy does love him some Ayuk. But if you want to go with the upside, yeah, Devontae may be the play there.
And
what do you think?
Also, too, the Eagles play in a more potent offense. The Eagles have a more potent offense. I think when George Kittle starts to get reacclimated and get a little more healthy, that's going to kind of cap Ayuk's ceiling a little bit. Debo is a weapon out there. But yeah, I would roll with Devonta Smith just because the Eagles are in a much more potent offense. And Jalen Hurts is slinging that rock, man. He really is.
He's slinging it, bro.
I would go with Devonta Smith on this one.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right, Josh, thanks for tuning in. Josh, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Should I accept this trade, Aaron Jones for Najee Harris?
Oh, well, he has Najee Harris, right?
Yeah.
And they're trying to give him Aaron Jones?
Should I accept this
Yes,
trade?
immediately. Now, Josh, now. Open your app and go do it right now.
I can't.
So you want Aaron Jones? You want Aaron Jones over Najee at this point?
Redraft for one season?
Yeah, I'm guessing
this year.
Redraft. Yeah, seems like it.
If it's redraft, yes, I'm taking Aaron Jones right now for this season. Him and Dylan are the focal point of the Packers offense. You can speak to this, Polish. They're getting those running backs the ball, and they're getting into them early and often. And Aaron Jones can catch the ball. And then once Aaron Jones gets on the roll, forget about it. I like Aaron Jones this year. I have him in 2 redraft leagues. And Najee the Steelers can't block, dude. And then, they're probably going to end up starting a rookie quarterback at some point this year, and you don't know what he's going to do. And yeah, they're going to lean on Najee a little bit, but he's seeing stacked boxes. He's getting hit in the backfield before he's even handed the ball. The Packers are just so much more better and creative at getting Aaron Jones the ball, and that's their focal point. They want to run the ball, and I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. Go get Aaron Jones if you can. Try and swindle something else out of it. Maybe a nice little wide receiver 3 for you. Don't just stop at Aaron Jones. You're giving up Najee Harris, for Christ's sakes. Come on, let's take him behind the woodshed, Josh.
That's what I was thinking as well. Maybe try and get a little something more, because just try and play that. Oh, Aaron Jones has got AJ Dillon there, So I need something a little more. But Hammer, go ahead. Are you doing Aaron Jones for Najee?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards where Bagala was going with that. I just want to touch real quick. I would not let Aaron Jones' game against Tampa Bay affect your season-long outlook for Aaron Jones, just because
that's a really good defense.
Right, the Bucs still have a good defense. I think the one thing that does scare me about Aaron Jones, and I've had him in a couple of leagues, is he could go out and do what he did last week and then follow up with a game that's relatively pedestrian and relatively quiet. But his upside, considering all the circumstances, especially the lack of proven wide receivers for the Green Bay Packers, lends itself to Aaron Jones having more good games than not, and more consistently good games than not, I should say. So yeah, I think I would do it. And then obviously also, Aaron Jones's trusted rapport with Aaron Rodgers in the passing game lends itself to a higher upside overall compared to what Najee's going to get with the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, this is real tough. I mean, all
Not
the
as
points you
easy as
guys are
it.
making,
It's not as
all the
easy as it
points you
looks.
guys are
Like on the
making
surface.
are great, for Aaron Jones. But then, obviously there's a Najee side of it. Is yes, the offense hasn't been great. But how much worse is it going to get? And he always gets the ball. And I think Chicken had said something about this, and I was saying I think last year Najee averaged 15.5 points a game. And what is he at? I think right now, and in half PPR, that is. Right now, Najee's averaging 11.5. So he's not crazy far off. He's a touchdown away or 2 touchdowns away from being, in the high teens. But
Yeah, but
there is always that scare that, the offense just isn't that good. But, I think his floor is going to be really good compared to Aaron Jones, where Aaron Jones could have some duds. I don't think that Najee's going to necessarily give you duds because of the amount, of times he's going to get the ball. So I like the floor a little bit better for Najee. But yeah, this is a real tough one for me, and I think I won't do it straight up. I need something else. If I'm going to give up Najee for Aaron Jones, there's something else that has to be in there. And even though we're saying relatively it's kind of even, you still want to get more because you're still giving up Najee. So I think I'd have to get something else in there. But yeah, you can throw something else in there with Aaron Jones. I'd do it, but I wouldn't do it straight up.
No, I'd do it either way.
Do it straight up?
I would try and get something else just because, you want to, just for namesake, I guess you can say I'm giving up Najee. You got to give me something else. But, yes, at this point, I would do this straight up. And Steve, those numbers are a little skewed because he averaged 15 points all of last season.
That's what I'm saying.
We're 4 games in and he's at 11.5. Exactly. Steve, that could go way down because they're just not good. It's tough sledding for Najee. If you watch the Steelers, you've seen a couple of Steelers games. It's very hard for him. He's not getting any room. And I just think we're going to see a lot more of that as the season goes on.
We are, but he's still going to put up 70, 80 yards a game with his rushing and receiving. And that's what I'm saying is the floor for him is like that 8-9 point mark almost, So all it takes is a touchdown or 2 or a big run out there. And then his numbers are totally, changed and flipped. So, yeah, I think I'm not doing it straight up. I need something else with that. Well, would you guys are doing it straight up?
Yeah, I would.
Hammer, you doing it straight up too?
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you can always go back to the negotiating board and try and finagle something out of it, like Bagala said, a wide receiver 3, a wide receiver, something. Just see what you can get. Because if he rejects the trade, you're back where you started. So why not see how much more you could fleece? And Bagala's the king of trying to fleece people, so he would know better than anybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
do it.
I'm just trying to put out some good knowledge, man. Listen, you giving up Najee and you offer me Aaron Jones, you better be coming with a little bit something more.
A little bit something more. That's like a first round pick in Dynasty for you.
Just get into the negotiations. Like I said, use the whole A.J. Dillon thing against Aaron Jones. Use the bad week against him. It's the perfect time to try and get something on top of Aaron Jones. If you were trying if this was last week, then you'd be fucked and you won't be able to get anything extra. But James, what's up, James? I think you already want to subscribe to us, but thank you for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, do it. But I think you have, James. Thoughts on Russell Wilson for a super flex rest of the season? Now, Russell Wilson hasn't played great, but
there's better days ahead.
This is super flex. So this is for the QB2, the guy that you can either start a QB or any other position player,
which is mainly a QB.
Exactly, obviously.
Yeah. No, we touched on this when we had another question earlier about Russell Wilson and then having Trevor Lawrence. If Trevor Lawrence is Trevor Lawrence is an flex over Russell Wilson, I'm taking Trevor Lawrence at this point.
Yeah,
Of
right
course,
now.
but it's not going to be available now. It's a super.
It won't be
flex, so-
available. So, my thoughts on this is that super flex, all of the other good quarterbacks are probably taken. Yes, I would go with Russell Wilson for the super flex for the rest of the year. They're gonna be better days. This is a new system. Nathaniel Hackett will get his shit together. You know what I'm saying? And Russ will be really good. They have two really good receivers. I would keep starting Russ in my super flex. I'd keep rolling them out there, and you it's gonna start to pay dividends soon.
Yeah,
Russ scares me,
I'm
though.
with you. Yeah, but this is in a super flex. You're gonna play
I
the
get it.
QB.
I get it.
He's had obviously two shitty games. First game was decent, but that obviously is going to get better. It's not going to continuously play this way the whole
It's a new
rest of the
system.
season. So that will get better. So don't panic on Russell being in your super flex there. Or if you are panicking, maybe you go do like Hammer said at Trevor Lawrence. Maybe you trade Russell Wilson. Maybe you trade down. You know, you might not be able to do it yet. Maybe wait for a week that Russell actually has a good week, and then try and get off of Russell and get Trevor Lawrence end a piece for Russell Wilson. That would be a good thing to do as well. So, you know, if you don't like Russell, you can always try and trade down to a lesser QB and try and get another piece if you have to. But otherwise, just don't worry about it. Leave Russell in the flex there. In the super flex, and don't you worry about it. Should I sell high on J-Rob? This is an excellent question.
Yes, it is.
Jameson M. Thanks for joining, man. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I know you guys are kind of high on J-Rob, but yeah, what are you guys doing?
How high you're selling is the point. You know, how high we selling, what you're getting for him. You know, have somebody offered you anything for J-Rob? If somebody offers you something, say DeAndre Swift just went down and he's going to be down for a while. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's going to say, damn, I really need a running back, I can't wait for him. They're 0-2, 0-3. Yes, sell high on J-Rob. You know what I'm saying? But are we going to sell high on J-Rob if somebody comes and says, all right, yeah, I'll trade you Elijah Mitchell and a wide receiver? No, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather keep J-Rob at this point in time. But yeah, if you can sell high on them and get something really good from, yes, sell high on J-Rob. But be careful. You make sure it's worth it, you know, because I think me and Polish feel this way. James Robinson is a really good player and he's balling out. And I feel like the Jaguars are gonna be a decent team this year. And I think he's just gonna keep going. But if you have any, you know, reserves about the ankle, will he re-injure, will he get hurt, things like that, yes, then sell high on him. But if you're gonna sell, just make sure it's high enough. You know what I'm saying?
Bottle approved. Hammer, go ahead. Your turn before I get on it.
Yeah, I actually have James Robinson in one of our ESPN home redraft leagues, and he's been one of the few bright spots on a team that's currently 0-3 and dead last in points. So that would be a tough sell for me because, to be honest with you, I had Travis Etienne in my starting running back spot in the RB2 spot for the first week, and then James Robinson has just been a really, really good, productive player week in and week out for these first 3 weeks. So it would be hard for me to sell him, and depending on what the other options are. So I'm going to hold on to James Robinson. It would be easy to say sell just because he is being uber productive. But I'm going to keep James Robinson and see if I can ride that out. Depends on where you are and what your other running back options are. If James Robinson is currently your flex, then maybe, sell high and try and pick up, you know, maybe a higher tier wide receiver. But if he's currently your RB2, you know, or maybe you have two RB2s and, you know, he's in one of those RB spots, I would kind of hold on to him and ride out this hot hand because it looks like Jacksonville is ascending.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm going to just hit the I'm gonna start off with that. I'm saying sell J-Rob. I'm just not a huge believer in J-Rob. ETN is just a more explosive guy. even last week, I mean, the coaches staff has even said that they're going to give it to the hot hand. And last week, I think J-Rob had 17 carries, and then ETN had 13, obviously, and then a bunch of catches. So, but yeah, I'm selling high on J-Rob now. Obviously, he looks good, but nobody has ever came back like from that injury, really. And he obviously is playing well right now. But yeah, I'm going to sell high on him right now, if you could. But again, it depends who you're trying to get, or do you have to sell him? Most likely you drafted him late, so he could be a piece you can just move, and that's probably why you're asking, should you sell high? So, yes, because nobody drafted him as their normal RB2 or RB1. You picked him up there late, obviously, because we didn't even know if he was going to be playing most likely this season. So he's a great piece for you to sell high on now. Depending where you drafted him. So I'm a big sell high because I think obviously you drafted him late. So I would sell high there, get everything that you can and more for him while he's still producing. Because one big, ETN could have a big week next week, and then all of a sudden everybody's having
his value goes down.
So right now, while nobody's got any questions about J-Rob, now is the time.
Try and sell him. I'm with you.
Yeah. And I think was that the last games? Yeah,
I think we got one more.
We talked about the Packs Bucks. All right, 49ers Broncos, that fucking dismal performance. Hackett just pisses me the fuck off. But before we get into that, hold on, we got one more question here, I think. Rendon, what's up, man? Thanks for joining. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's see what you got for us here. What's up, boys? I got a trade. I would get J.K. Dobbins. I don't love that already, but I would get J.K. Dobbins and Dotson for Pierce and Romeo Dubes. I'll let Hammer go at this first. This is like a super. Never mind. Hammer, you go first before I.
No, you don't want to be on the wrong end of #rapish.
No.
You don't want to find yourself on the wrong end of #rapish. You do not want that. Do not make this trade. Do not make this trade. Do not make this trade. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep. Bagala.
Yeah. J.K. Dobbins could end up being the better, the best piece in this trade, but you're waiting for him to ramp it up to probably week 8. He won't get a full workload. Week 9, he's still coming back from that nasty knee injury. Dotson, I don't, with Samuel there and Terry, and then you got the enigma that is Carson Wentz. You don't know when he's gonna score. You know what I'm saying? I think Pierce and Romeo Doubs both have, I want to say, established roles in the offenses that they're in. So yeah, don't make that trade. Don't be don't be one of those guys.
Don't be on the wrong end.
Don't be on the wrong end.
My initial reaction was hell the fuck no. Don't do it. JK is just scary, obviously with the injury, and he's just coming back. They have 97 running backs. I love using that. Just like the 49ers do. You just don't want to be a part of that. Last week, I fucking said, do not play Drake, and the guy gave you a fucking donut. It was just bullshit. And Dotson, on the other hand, he's played great, but he's had, 5 looks the first 5, the first game, 5 the second game. He's just not getting enough targets for me. That touchdown production. Do we really think Dotson's going to finish with 20 touchdowns by the end of the season?
No, you just never know when it's going to come for Dotson.
And we know
JK
are getting the ball.
Exactly. And JK is the Ravens' lead back, but it's going to take him so long to get up to speed. It's not worth it. Pierce is already getting the carries.
He's getting the ball. Carries. Aaron Rodgers likes Dubes. He trusts them. So you're not getting rid of those guys. Those could be league-winning guys for you compared to a JK and Dotson. These are league-winning guys we're talking about, Pierce and Romeo.
And also, I know Blanc talks about, staying away from certain backfields because of injuries and 97 running backs, but Lamar Jackson is the best running back on the Ravens. So he'll vulture the hell out of you when you get down near the goal line. I don't trust any Ravens running back.
Definitely.
Yeah, Rendon said thanks. No problem, man. We saved you.
No problem. We're always here to save another fantasy football manager from being taken advantage of.
Taken behind the woodshed.
Taken
behind the woodshed.
Oh.
Yeah, we won't allow
that. Jameson M, thanks for joining in. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, man. We appreciate you being here. Cup and Michael Thomas or Jefferson and Amon-Ra. 8-man PPR, not the league. I have J. Robin. You asked the other one about J. Rob. But Cup and MT or Jefferson and Amon-Ra. 8-man PPR.
I know where I'm going with this.
I'm going to answer this one first and say we're going with Jefferson and Amon-Ra. Those are my guys. We're going with them. We're not going with Cup and MT. Cup obviously is great. Michael Thomas is hurt again. He just can't be trusted. So you've got to go with Jefferson and Amon-Ra easily. Go ahead, Hammer. What you got?
Yeah, no, this is I'm with you on this one, and it might come as a surprise to you guys because you guys know how much I love me some Cooper Kupp. But the key is Michael Thomas here. That's not even a question to me. So yeah, it's Jefferson and Amon-Ra. I know Jefferson has looked pedestrian, man. It's kind of it's opening up my eyes his last 2 weeks. But you still got to roll with Justin Jefferson and Amon-Ra. Michael Thomas is too much of a liability out there in terms of his injury history, and what his targets are going to look like, in the limited opportunities. And now he's hurt again. Take Jefferson and Amon-Ra and run for the hills.
Yep. Bagala, what you got?
So is this a trade or is he just asking who to start? I mean,
it might be.
Yeah, I don't
know.
Well, either way, if it's a trade, you're going to take Jefferson and Amon-Ra. And if it's a trade, Jefferson and Amon-Ra, Cooper Kupp is lovely, but Michael Thomas is a huge question mark.
Yeah, it was a trade. He said, I'm taking Jefferson and Amon-Ra side. Definitely. All right. Queek, thanks for joining. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. QB, rate my team. QB, Lamar Jackson. Running back, Breece Hall, Wilson, Mitchell, Edmonds. Wide receiver, JJ, DJ, London, Bateman, A-Rob. Tight end, Kelsey. Real quick, can you just put in the chat maybe what the format is? Is it two RB, two wide receiver, and a flex?
It's 12-team PPR.
Yeah, but how many flexes do you have, and how many wide receivers or running backs do you have to start?
It doesn't matter. He just gave us his roster. Let's rate the roster.
I know, but it depends. If you got to start all those damn guys, I mean,
Well,
all right, let's just say standard. Two flexes. See, two flexes. All right. Go ahead, Bagala, since you want to open your mouth. Go ahead.
Open my mouth. Just rate the fucking team.
Tell me what you're feeling about this team. Give Queek a quick rate.
I'm gonna give Queek a quick queef. All right.
that was not at all where I thought that was bad.
Since I've seen his name, that's all I could think about. But all right, we're not on FCC airwaves yet. But Queek, I see Queek, you're a good dude. We love you. We love that you're here. Lamar's balling, Breece Hall is going to come along soon. I like that. I like both of those. The only question mark here is, Mitchell got hurt, but he has Wilson. He has Edmonds to step in if he really needs it. He's looking a little short on running back. Maybe you try and, get out from under DJ Moore and A-Rob and trade for a running back. Kelsey, of course, love it. I love London. I love Bateman. I like it. It's a solid heavy lifting at the top with Lamar and Kelsey, and you got some youngsters in there, and Breece Hall, but I'll give it a B minus. B minus. I'll go with a B minus because Breece Hall's just not there yet. You know what I'm saying? And then Mitchell and Wilson, and Steve's line.
Zero RB.
Zero running back strategy was the wave. It's Queef. It's never the wave. Pick your running backs in the first round. Okay, let's stop this zero running back garbage. Don't listen to anybody that says that. Go get your number one running back.
He didn't do it right. I think that's the biggest misconception of what exactly is the zero RB strategy. This wasn't necessarily the zero RB. This was a zero RB strategy for 3 rounds. And then you went RB. Because if you went zero RB strategy, you have JJ in the first round. Kelsey
oh, he does have JJ. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he has JJ in the first round. He's got Kelsey in the second round. I'm just guessing, but it's got to be. And the third round, I'm guessing you took DJ Moore, which was way too high to take DJ
or
Moore.
Lamar. He could have took Lamar.
Maybe you took Lamar there, and then you took DJ Moore after, which I still don't love necessarily.
I didn't know he had JJ
in that round. But, okay, so you went DJ Moore, and then you probably went Breece Hall or Mitchell or something after. I just feel like you should have better receivers if you went zero RB. But you have London and you have Bateman. Those are great guys to have right now, especially. So you're probably playing JJ and Bateman, and then you got London in the flex or A-Rob in the flex. That's kind of how I would look at it there. What do you think, Hammer?
Yeah, it's a solid team.
I drafted Deontay. Hold on. I drafted Deontay, traded him for Breece and A-Rob.
So
okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Then. That makes sense. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Thanks, Quick, for
good trade. That's a good trade.
Yeah, it is a pretty good trade. But go ahead, Hammer.
Good trade.
So yeah, I mean, for this team right now, Lamar's balling out for you, and he's really carrying the load. This guy is just amazing right now. And I like the Lamar Bateman stack, which is really nice. Bateman is really the beneficiary of a lot of Lamar's production, or at least, you know, a substantial amount of Lamar's production. I do like this team as far as going down the stretch, because as Bagala touched on, you have some of the young guys like a Breece Hall, like a Drake London, where you tend to see those rookies who we know are really talented guys.
Later on in the season, week 13, week 14, really after Thanksgiving, kind of carry you home. So I'll give this team a B+, just because you have some really good, high, young, upside guys that I think are going to really take it to the next level, really after Thanksgiving. And then you got Lamar Jackson, who's a league winner. When you boil it down. And I didn't see JJ, and that's why I gave it a B-. I'll stick with a B. Him having JJ is big. I didn't see that.
Yeah. What are you giving it, Hammer? Hammer?
He said a B+. Hammer said a B+.
I didn't hear that. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with. I don't love Wilson and Mitchell, but I mean, I do like some of those wide receivers. I'm gonna give it a B as well. I love that
That's
you got
where
Lamar
I was.
Jackson. That was good. I would do it that no RB strategy a different way. I know you said zero RB strategy was the wave, and I do love the zero RB strategy. But I probably would have went heavier wide receiver early. But, you know, there's no wrong way to do it. You wound up with Kelsey and fucking Lamar and JJ. So, you know, you did it somewhat right, where you've got 3 top guys at each position, you know, other than the RB. So, yeah, I'll give you a nice B there, which is probably equivalent to 7 out of 10 or something like that. But you got a nice team. You've got pieces that can really give you an advantage there. So we like that. Jameson, let's see, rate my 14-man super flex. Thanks for joining, everybody. We'll get to all the questions there. If you haven't subscribe for us there. Let's run through the rest of these questions quick. Jameson says, rate my team 14-man super flex. Burrow, Stafford, awesome. Mixon, J-Rob, Pierce, Jamar, Michael Thomas, Devonta Smith, Godwin, and Waller. I like that a lot. Hammer, let's let you take this one first.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Burrow. He's kind of been a little weird. He's taken a lot of sacks. Stafford's been average, as we talked about earlier on the show. So I like Burrow there. Mixon's good. He was a little bit disappointing. Obviously, Blanc said that he got an injury, so you got to keep an eye on that. That Burrow and Jamar Chase stack seems to be what a lot of people have been doing. I noticed that a lot lately, where people are taking Jamar Chase in the first round and really getting Joe Burrow somewhere in that, that fifth round, if you have to reach for him a little bit, if you want that stack. So that's really nice there. I do love that. Devonta Smith, high upside guy. We talked about him. He could be one of those sneaky guys that could really put you over the top on any given week. And if you have him on your team last week, he probably did put you over the top with his massive game. So Godwin's going to be interesting because down the stretch, I think he could be a factor. If he could come back healthy, if the Bucs don't mess around, make sure Chris Godwin is healthy, make sure he's ready to go. Do not bring Chris Godwin back before he's 100%, because then you could kind of be with this flip-flop in and out of the lineup. Darren Waller, obviously at a thin, shallow tight end position we talk about all the time. Darren Waller is still a factor, and he's a tight end one. So yeah, the team is solid. I would go with a B. The super flex with Stafford. Stafford's been average, and I think I don't know how much more higher upside Stafford has. His connection with Allen Robinson doesn't look that great. So I'm going to go with a B here, but you got some good pieces, and you got pieces that can give you upside, mainly Devonta Smith, mainly Jamar Chase with the stack with Burrow. So I'll go with a B on this one, but you got some upside.
Yeah, I mean, for the super flex, Burrow Stafford is fucking awesome. To have Stafford in the super flex, even though he hasn't been playing great, is great. Mixing J-Rob Pierce. I mean, I don't love Michael Thomas or Godwin, but you've got a nice squad there, and I'm sure obviously you've got some other people on your bench here, but I'm gonna give you a B plus because it's super flex and because you were able to get Burrow and Stafford, and that's gonna give you a huge advantage, in week, even though you have MT and Godwin who could be hurt or not produce as well. So I'm gonna give you a B plus. I like it, Jameson. What do you think, Bagala?
Yeah, I would super flex. I would go a B plus too, only because in that super flex he ends up playing Stafford. You know what I'm saying? I like the Burrow Jamar stack. You know what I'm saying? Able to pick up Michael Thomas as a wide receiver 2. You got, if he gets hurt, you got Devonta Smith there. Godwin is going to come back. I think he's going to play big. I really like that. I'm with you, Steve. I think this is a B plus team with Mixon.
Yeah, DJ Moore is selling though. Yeah, I mean, you're just not going to be able to sell him yet. You got to wait till he has a good game.
A-Rob is a bum.
Yeah, A-Rob's been playing as a bum. I know. A-Rob has been playing as a bum.
I was high on him
going. Hopefully that changes, but we'll see.
With A-Rob, I still feel like there's better days ahead of him, though. You know what I'm saying? With Stafford, once Stafford gets going.
Yaqub Muhammad, thanks for joining in, man. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Everybody else will get to the questions there. I know you got a few questions here, Mr. Yaqub. DeAndre Swift for Debo.
Right now, no. No, I'm not giving.
I think he has.
You want to give up Swift for Debo? I mean, are you in desperate need of a wide receiver?
And if you're looking to get the DeAndre Swift for Debo, I can't trade for him just because he's gonna miss so much. And I'm not trading. I'm not in the business of trading Debo. Debo's a weapon. You want rushing yards, he's gonna give you rushing yards, Muhammad. You want receiving yards, he's gonna give you receiving yards. Hell, he might throw the ball for you one week. All right, we don't trade Debo over here. Okay, this is Debo's house right here. Who wants some of Debo?
I knew that was coming.
He said he has DeAndre Swift. So he has DeAndre Swift. He's looking to get Debo.
I do it.
Yes. Yep. I would do it. Yes. Yep. Take it.
I do it. And if you got Jamal Williams, even more, do it. If you don't have to give up Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
Also,
go get Debo.
Also, too, just as a quick side, when these guys get hurt, we tend to think of the season as a 17, 18 week season. In fantasy, it's not. It's 14 weeks. So if you're trading away a guy that's going to miss 3 or 4 games, we don't know how much time DeAndre Swift is going to miss, but you're talking about a quarter, a little bit more than a quarter or a third of your fantasy season, and that return on investment is going to kill you if you are picking up a guy like DeAndre Swift. I know he said he's trading DeAndre Swift, so for the return on investment you're getting for Debo, you got to make that deal.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Swift is going to miss, they're saying is going to miss 2 games, and then they have the bye week. So he'll get 3 full weeks of rest, so he'll be missing really only 2 games. But
that's a big chunk of your offense.
That's still tough.
Adam, what's up, man? Thanks for joining. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Start DJ Moore or Allen Robinson. Week 4 full PPR. That is just a tough one.
That is tough.
I'm gonna go with the better quarterback. I'm gonna say start Allen Robinson. The Baker Mayfield is a bum.
Yeah, and Allen Robinson hasn't been great either. That's the other part.
No, he hasn't. But Matt Stafford,
there's going to be a game where he goes off. Man.
Yeah, and Matt Stafford is head and shoulders better than Baker Mayfield. And Baker Mayfield is just too erratic for me. You don't know who's going to get the ball, and that offense revolves around Christian McCaffrey anyway. So, excuse me, I'm going A-Rob.
Yeah. What you got, Hammer? You going A-Rob or more?
My initial thought is to say Allen Robinson for all the points that Bagala outlined, but Allen Robinson has a lot more competition for targets. Tyler Higbee showed up. Skoranek showed up. We know what Cooper Kupp does. So, while my initial inkling is to go with Allen Robinson, I wouldn't discount DJ Moore just from the standpoint of his path to more consistent targets is there over an Allen Robinson. So I'm going to go DJ Moore on this one.
Yeah, I'm having a tough time even thinking about it too. And no matter how much DJ Moore disappoints, but you got. I can only hope that the fucking coaches could actually just try and get him the ball. But again, Allen Robinson, it's like it could be just
go out there and play quarterback
maybe the week. So and he's got but you can't, like Hammer said, you can't really discount that DJ Moore is the only guy. But I'm gonna trust Matt Stafford to get the ball to Allen Robinson more than I can trust the coaching staff to fucking do what they should do and get the damn man the ball.
Don't say coaching staff.
Yeah, coaching staff, designing the damn plays, calling the plays to get DJ Moore the ball, just like Atlanta went and got Kyle Pitts the ball.
He can't admit
just
that
like
he
the
was
Eagles
wrong.
went and got Devonta the ball. It wasn't Jalen Hurts that gave Devonta the ball because the first game he had nothing. They designed.
I'm sorry, I didn't see Nick Sirianni out there slinging the ball around 40 times. I don't know.
They call the passes and they tell him what routes to fucking run.
Oh yeah,
For me, I got
quarterback goes through progressions.
It's on Baker to make sure he gets his guy the ball.
Thank you.
No, absolutely, it's on him as well. But they're not even designed, like you saw last week, designed to fucking Shenault. Why aren't they designing shit to go to DJ Moore? That's my issue.
I think that part you can, that part obviously there is something to be said for a design of a play, but I think there's more on the quarterback to get his guy the ball than it is. From a degree. So I think for that specific scenario, I Baker Mayfield to make sure he's getting DJ Moore the ball.
I made a big mistake in my draft. I was too high on DJ Moore. Took him over Evans. Oh my God, no.
Yeah, you did.
DJ Moore's going like 2 or 3 rounds later.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that was a bad one. But listen, wait till he has a good week and then try and get rid of him there. Yeah, Baker sucks. We know. Yakub back again. 12-team league, he says. Tua, Mixon, Swift, AJ Brown, Amon-Ra, Michael Thomas, Logan Thomas, bench Rashad Penny, Jeff Wilson, Marvin Jones, Kareem Hunt. If you wanted us to rate it, I'm guessing. Damn.
B plus.
Yeah, love it.
B plus. A minus.
Yeah, I don't
I like
love,
this. This
Michael
is an
Thomas.
A
I love
minus.
him.
This is an A minus.
Michael Thomas there.
Tua's playing good. That was good
This might
upside.
be a B plus A minus there. That
Yeah, I
might
think
be.
this is an A minus. Joe Mixon is a good running back. DeAndre Swift, he just got hurt, but he was balling out.
And
You were
then you got
able to get
Kareem Hunt
AJ
there.
Brown and Amon Ra with
Yeah, so
Michael
you're
Thomas
playing.
as a third receiver.
Yeah.
And you somehow you end up with Kareem Hunt on your bench. Yes.
And Jeff
yes,
Wilson. Yeah, you're
and
stacked.
Jeff, this is an A minus. This is good shit, Muhammad.
Yeah, that's very good, man. I think I'm gonna stay with the A minus as well. Shit, I might even have to give you an A because of the way fucking Tua's been playing.
Yeah.
Hammer, what you think?
Yeah, I'm not. I love what Tua's been doing, and I do love Tua's upside. The one thing that does scare me though is Tua does get banged up a little bit. He does have a propensity to get banged up a little bit, so it's definitely has a upside. But I'm just gonna go B plus from the standpoint of, and Bagala even brought this up as one of his own points when we were talking about the Dolphins game is, Tua is not Patrick Mahomes. Let's not get it twisted.
No, he's not.
Have the weapons, right? He does have the weapons in Tyreek, one of Patrick's old guys, and Jalen Waddle. So I'll go B plus, but it definitely has a upside if Tua stays upright and just delivers the ball to his playmakers.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's probably really quick. Where you got Tua is what makes this team what it is.
Good. Yeah.
That's
well, essentially he traded DJ Moore for Tua.
Ooh.
I'm not mad at it.
That's solid. Who was his other quarterback though? When he didn't,
doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
No, it does matter. It does matter though, because if you drafted, I'm pretty sure that
he probably traded that QB for somebody else. Maybe he got, regardless of Trey Lance was his QB. So yeah.
Oh, so
right,
he went down.
I like
good,
it.
Good rebound.
Absolutely.
Good rebound.
Yeah.
We'll get to this real quick. 1 second. Thank you, boys. Have a good night. No problem, Jameson. Thanks, man. We appreciate you. We've got, I think, two more questions. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Devonta Smith or Breece Hall?
Do it.
Devonta Smith or Breece Hall? Yeah, I'd do it. I'll take Breece because I think Breece
is going to come up big in the back half of this.
Yeah, definitely.
He do it. I would do this. I would do this quick, even though I like Devonta Smith.
Devonta or Breece?
This is tough because Devontae really fucking is jumping off the screen lately. Yeah, you got to go with Breece Hall because you just know he's from an RB spot. I feel like Devonta Smith is going to be a little bit of a roller coaster. He might turn into what we saw Tyreek Hill early on in his career, where he's going to have 10 for 180 and a touchdown, and maybe next week he has 3 for 30. So I think down the stretch, as you're talking about, Breece Hall is going to put you in a better position to count on consistent production from the RB. Wouldn't like it per se, but I would do it. That stamp.
Approved. Oh, shit.
Oh.
Triple stamp, bro. Triple stamp. My bad. I got excited.
Oh my god.
I'm excited. I'm excited for that trade. Devonta Smith for Breece. I love it.
Yeah, I would do that. I would do it.
The Dark Wolf. What's up, Dark Wolf? Thanks for joining. Like and subscribe if you haven't already.
There was some furniture moving in Blanc's place. Damn.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, Breece for fucking Devonta? Hell yeah. All right. Thoughts on my team? Jackson, Jamal Williams, Barkley. Awesome. Cup, Dotson, Flex, London, Kittle, Bench, Jimmy G, Metcalf, Lockett, Penny, Dobbins, Hurst. We'll let you take this one away first, Hammer.
Yeah, dude, listen. You got Cup and Lamar Jackson. I mean, Bagala's going to hone in on Saquon Barkley just because he's going to cream his pants over Saquon Barkley. But yeah, no, that's really good. The RB2 spot, Jamal Williams, I would obviously think that there would be somebody else in your everyday RB2 spot. Obviously, with DeAndre
It looks like he's waiting. It looks like he's waiting on Dobbins.
So, I mean, having Jamal Williams in there now looks good. But, yeah, man, listen, you got Cup, you got Lamar, you got Barkley. That's your foundation, and you're going to have to ride that till the wheels fall off. Kittle, Kittle's making me, a little nervous. Missed the first 2 weeks, wasn't that good, but down the stretch he could be good. So the jury's still out on him. Metcalf on your bench, pretty decent. Can't rely on him, but could be a good fill-in. Hayden Hurst I have on my dynasty team as well. So I'm looking at somewhere between a B and a B plus. Just because your RB2 is a little shaky. But listen, Jackson, Cup, Barkley, and Drake London I think Drake London's going to be awesome down the stretch. So this is a B plus ish, and you're 3-0. So
I would say I would probably put Metcalf over Dotson and London, and then keep London in the flex because Dotson's production is just not going to stay, what he did those first 2 weeks, not with the targets that he's getting. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. And obviously this week he disappointed because, like I said, he's not going to score 20 touchdowns by the time the season ends. So, those 3 touchdowns were obviously big, but he's just not getting enough looks. And now with Curtis Samuel getting there too much, I'd probably start Metcalf there. Or even Lockett. Lockett was playing good as well, I think.
But how can you trust those?
But yeah, I'd play Metcalf, even though you can't trust him. I trust him more than Dotson.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But Bagala, what do you think? What do you grade in this team? Quick.
He's 3-0, and I get it. I like it. Barkley, yes, Barkley's on his way back. He's doing big things, but Barkley could be a boom or bust for you. I think after Cup, his wide receivers are really thin. I don't like Metcalf. I don't like Dotson. London, yeah, but you're going to be waiting. You're 3-0 because Lamar Jackson is playing out of his mind. And
you got Cooper Kupp.
And you got Cooper Kupp. But Lamar Williams. Jackson giving you 50 every week. It's just that helps. So I think he's going to run into trouble. He's pretty thin at running back. If Barkley, I have Barkley. So last week Barkley gave me 10. You know what I'm saying? I don't have Lamar Jackson. I lost that game. You know what I'm saying? Cooper Kupp, yeah. Cooper Kupp gave you what? Not his usual 20, 30. He gave you 14 this week, but Lamar Jackson gave you 50. Once Lamar Jackson comes back down to earth, I think this team is going to have a little bit of trouble. I would say it's a good team. I'd give it a C plus. Yeah, I give it a C plus, but it's very thin. And if you're waiting on Dobbins to be your RB2, and you got Metcalf, I don't like Metcalf. He's going to be hit or miss all year. You never know when it's going to come. Dotson, we already explained. You're hoping that London gets that consistent target share, and he's able to move into that wide receiver 2 spot. But yeah, no what's name to Dark Wolf here, but 3-0. You should get Lamar on the phone and tell him thank you. But you're gonna need 50 from Lamar, so I'll give you a C plus. You're gonna need that 50.
Yeah, I think I'm more with you on this one. Bagala. I would see about trying to make a trade. See if you can trade.
Yes.
Metcalf just had a good week. See if you can trade Metcalf and Dotson for a better wide receiver or
running back.
And then just roll with Kupp and London as your 2 wide receivers, and then you got you can plug and play in the flex there. Also see if you can trade Jamal Williams and maybe pick up something. Obviously, Swift is going to be back eventually. And,
Swift owner, you might be able to get something from the Swift owner.
Yeah.
Maybe, but they might not want to pay up. It all depends. Yeah. That's probably your best bet. Probably is to trade him away there and try and get something, whether it's wide receiver or running back. But yeah, I would say try and make some moves, even though you're 3-0. Dotson's production, like I said, those first 2 weeks is not gonna stay that way. So,
and you
the
have
reason if you have
to,
not a bad team, obviously. But Dobbins is going to be still a big question mark.
The reason why I gave it a B with B plus upside is just because I think Lamar Jackson is going scorched earth on anybody. He wants that contract, and he's like, fuck you. If I got to go out there and get 50, I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
That's the thing, but you have to think that Lamar's going to come back down to earth.
I
know
understand.
what I'm saying?
I understand,
So,
but even if his floor is, bro, he's throwing for 300 and running for 100 every game.
yeah, I know, but you gotta think.
It's
Jackson,
insane.
Jackson, thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you haven't for us there. What are your thoughts on this trade? I traded Deontay and Connor for Tyreek. My running backs now are Lenny and Damien Pierce, and wide receivers are now Cup, Tyreek, and Keenan, and QB is Lamar.
It's hashtag 8 to 10, brother. You should be doing 8 to 10 in somebody's federal penitentiary right now because you took them behind the woodshed. I love it. Deontay and Connor for the cheetah. Because when cheetah goes boom, he goes boom. You know what I'm saying? For the cheetah, and then you're pairing him with Cup. I mean, you have to do something with that third wide receiver because I don't know if Keenan Allen is gonna stay healthy all year or what's gonna happen with him. But Lenny and Damien Pierce, I feel like are good running backs, and it just seems like everybody had drafted Lamar. They said, "Oh, he's playing for a new contract. I want some of Lamar." So you know what I'm saying? But as far as the trade, Deontay and James Blue Tank Connor for Tyreek the Cheetah Hill, yes. Hashtag 8 to 10. Hashtag rapish. Bagla approved. Stamp it, Steve. Bang! There we go, baby. Bang! Let's go, Jackson. That's what I like to see.
Hammer.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Bagla brought all the energy. I can't top that shit. He said 8 to 10 in the federal penitentiary. That's good work right there. That's solid work. Yeah, man. Listen. When Lamar Jackson is your quarterback, you're getting a QB1 and an RB1 rolled into one position. So just it's a beautiful thing. And if if you're rolling Tyreek Hill out there as your wide receiver too, you're in good shape. So approved all day, 2 times on Sunday. 366 on a leap year. Get it done. Curtis,
I just stamp that shit. Just stamp it. There's not much to say. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Connor anyway, so I love the trade there. And you're fine rolling with Lenny and Damien Pierce. Hopefully, you got RBs in there as well. But,
he's got Lamar Jackson.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, you're good there. Should I trade for Cordell Patterson? I see
it might cost you a pretty penny.
Something like MT for Cordell alone. I'm not mad at that.
I would do that.
Not mad at that. I'd do that.
I would do that. Oh yeah.
I don't like MT. Let's go. Go get yourself some Cordell.
Oh yeah. But the problem is, listen, if you're giving up Mike Thomas for Cordell Patterson, you're doing that. But if the person who has Cordell Patterson is a GM worth his salt, you should be able to get way more for Cordell Patterson.
Patterson is just going ham right now.
That's what I'm saying.
My thing is Patterson's going ham right now, but I don't see Cordell keeping this up. I just don't know. I think he's had a couple of good games here. Don't get me wrong, some big games, but
we did say the same shit last year, and it just never stopped.
Yeah, but they didn't have anybody there. I think at some point in time,
they got now.
I think at some point in time they're gonna want to get Algier involved.
He is already involved.
They're gonna turn to throwing the ball more. I would keep MT if it was me. I don't know. I'm going We're not gonna make the same. We're not going to make the same mistake we did last year and say, oh, Cordell's just a couple good games, and then he just never stopped. So we're going to continue with that, especially since Damien Williams is on IR. All they've got is Algier back there, which they are giving him a little carries, but obviously it ain't eating into fucking Patterson, what he's doing. So we're not messing with that. So, yeah, I do that. MT for Cordell. Me and Hammer, you got approval. Bagala, he's on the losing spectrum of that one. Yeah,
that's a trade for Debo. Yeah, that'd be good. So potential be Tua, Mixon, Patterson, AJ Brown, Amon, Debo, Logan. That looks much. I like that. That looks better.
Yeah.
Maybe if they have to throw in some bench in those trades. Yeah, see what you can get there. Jackson, I have Curtis and Godwin on the bench for Keenan. Perfect. You got guys that can go.
Yeah,
in there
you got good guys. Yeah,
that's a squad, man. You've got a nice squad there, bro.
Absolutely.
You can play Curtis Samuel now with some semblance of confidence until Godwin or Keenan come back. Yeah,
absolutely. Pambu, like and subscribe if you haven't already. I love the little icon you got there with the panda.
I thought the panda was humping something, and then I realized he was just climbing a tree.
He's climbing bamboo, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
All right. Here we go. Start 3 for week 4. Don't never ask if you can start. JJ Jett is automatically started. Waddle is automatically started.
Yes.
Sutton is I see why now that I've read the whole thing. Start 3 for week 4. Jetta, Waddle, Sutton, Olave, Devonta. Also, should I look to package one of my receivers for a better QB? My QBs right now are Mariota and Tua. The rest of my team is solid. All right, so let's answer the first part of this. Start 3 for week 4.
Who are you leaving out?
I'll go first on this one. We're not playing Devonta Smith. I don't give a fuck.
No, not over these guys.
Not over these guys. Not over Jetta, Waddle, Sutton, or Olave. So those are going to – is that 3?
Olave, maybe.
Okay. You got to start 3 for week 4. So you got Jetta, Waddle, Sutton, or Olave. Okay, so we've got 2 that we can't play. Devonta Smith's automatically out. So that is
Olave's out
between Sutton or Olave. I'm going Olave. Michael Thomas is down. I think I might sit Sutton, even though it's hard to say. But I'm sitting Sutton. I'm going Olave. I'm going Jetta, Waddle, and Olave. That's me. Hammer, what you got?
The Michael Thomas thing being out kind of puts it over the top. The Russell Wilson led Broncos offense, while Cortland Sutton has been productive in the first 3 games. He's been productive, but I think Olave has the much higher ceiling for this particular week with no Michael Thomas. Jarvis Landry and I'm watching the Buffalo offensive coordinator go. I can't not look at that and enjoy it. So the Michael Thomas being out for the Saints is going to put Olave over the top. Is he going to see more coverage rolled his way? Maybe. But I think he's that good of a receiver. It's kind of hard, though, because Sutton really gives you that floor. That's a little more of a tough one just because you've seen Olave pop.
That's why he's asking. That's why we got you, Pambu.
I'll roll with Olave on this one just because he's going to get a massive amount of targets with no Michael Thomas out there.
With Waddle and JJ?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. What do you got, Bagala?
I'm going JJ, Waddle, and Sutton. I know I know Russ looked bad, but Sutton is still producing. And Jameis Winston is just you don't know if he's gonna throw 3 picks. You don't know.
I don't care if he throws 3 picks as long as Olave is getting
but if Jameis ends up having a bad game, I don't know. I think Sutton is the safer bet between him and Olave. I will say that. I think
for me, it's the opposite. Olave is a little bit safer almost.
I think
it's real tough. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. And as far as looking to package one of his wide receivers and for a better quarterback, take Devonta Smith, take Tua, and go trade him for a better quarterback if you want. That'd be a perfect package to go.
Yeah, that could be good, especially after Devonta just went off. Now's the perfect week to get rid of Devonta.
Either Devonta or Olave, and you package one of them with Tua and go get yourself a really good quarterback. Now, I don't know who you're gonna go get for that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a lot. Like, you would feel comfortable offering that for somebody like a Josh Allen, but nobody's going to trade you Josh Allen. Do you feel comfortable offering Tua and Devontae for Kyler Murray? I don't know. I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either. I don't know.
And then nobody's going to give up Burrow and those guys. So it's kind of
look around and see who's got injuries, who's got positions that they need, and then see if maybe you can snag a QB that way. That's what I'd say. But all right, so me and Hammer have got JJ Waddle and Olave, and Bagala's got Sutton in there. All right, guys. Thanks. Have a good night. Subscribe. Thank you. You're cool. Appreciate you there.
Yes, sir.
We did.
All right, Mohammed.
We're gonna answer these couple, and then we're gonna hop off that we got left here. But Dark Wolf, notable wide receivers on my waivers are Dubes, Duvernay, McKenzie, Boyd, Olave, and Lazard. Any of those guys think I should pick up? Yeah, Olave.
Yeah, like half of them.
Right.
Yeah,
How are those guys still on the waiver wire?
Yeah, there's got to be an 18 league. No, I would definitely if you can get Dubes, McKenzie, or Olave, Lazard. I like Duvernay too. Duvernay's been a beast, but before that, I would go Dubes, Olave, Lazard, McKenzie, and then Duvernay.
Give me two. Let's pick two for him. What two would you pick? Because I'm sure, obviously, if these guys are on waivers, he probably doesn't have as much bench space. So let's give him your top two. Who is your top two, Bagala? And you can do it in order. 1, 2.
Top two would definitely be Olave and probably Lazard. Those would be my top two. Olave and Lazard.
Hammer?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think Olave has to be the top one. Easily, number one. And this is really a toss-up between Dubes and maybe Duvernay. I do like McKenzie as well. That's a tough one, man. Some of these guys have really good games. I'll go, just for the sake of this particular question, I'll go Olave and Dubes because I like that Aaron's really trusting him, and I think that's going to open up a ton of opportunities for Dubes, especially as we go down the season. Olave and Dubes.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna roll with Bagala and go Olave Lazard instead of Dubes. I know Dubes did have a big game, but obviously once those other guys come back,
Lazard is the
one that's
guy.
Going to be kind of flowing in because Lazard is the guy that
I got you.
Be there. So that's the reason why I'm going to go Lazard. But I'm not mad at Dubes, and Dubes could very well, obviously, do well from there. Damn, I missed this one. I'm not sure when you wrote this. Pause Polish.
Pause Polish.
When I was talking about the panda.
Oh, maybe.
It's getting late here, boys.
Right, we've got one more. This is the last one. Then we're getting off, boys. Roderick, Roderick. Sorry if I said that wrong. Thanks for joining. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate you. He says he's 0-3, so let me throw that out there before we actually read.
So am I, and I have some of the similar guys.
Herbert, Eckler, Penny, Pittman, Deontay, Kelsey, Juju, and Mooney at the flex. I'm on
that
3,
explains a lot.
0-3, and need to make a move. I got offered Pierce and Dotson for Deontay Johnson. It's tough to give up.
Yeah, Deontay. I can't give up. I can't, not with this roster.
I think I might do it. Not with this roster. He's got no RBs. He's got Penny starting. I think you got to go out and get Pierce at the cost of Deontay. Because you do still have Pittman. You could slide Juju in, but he's going to have up and down weeks.
Yeah, but Mooney is just such a puke piece of shit, dude.
Well, no, I know. Well, that's what I know. Mooney's is a puke piece, but he's got to have something else on the bench here that you can get, or even pick up maybe. But you can't roll. I don't think you can roll with Penny. Mooney is a puke piece, but
he's a puke piece, yo. He's so bad.
Real quick, Roderick. Who else do you have on your bench? What other guys do you have?
You ever hear something like we've called people a puke piece before, but you ever hear something and just in the context,
the waivers are dry as shit. But who else do you have on your actual team? You've got to have some other. Is this the whole? Is this the whole team? That can't be the whole team, right?
No, you gotta have.
No, it can't be the whole team. Obviously, you've got some other guys out there. No RBs. There's nobody out there. Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. I'm okay. For me, I'm okay with getting rid of Deontay and picking up Pierce and Dotson. Like Dotson's gonna be, Dotson's gonna be tough. He's gonna have some good games, some bad ones. But I'd rather have him in the flex than fucking Mooney, and I'd rather have Pierce than Penny, and I'd rather just slide Juju in instead of holding on to Deontay. What do you guys think?
I have a hard time. I have a hard time just pulling this because Deontay is getting so many looks, so many targets. He does need a running back, and Pierce looks good to slide in there. Dotson, he'll have. I guess he's better than Mooney. Let's just say that. I don't like it, but if I had
he's got Treylon Burks. Let me throw that out there because he just put that in there. He does have Treylon Burks and Al Galore. So yeah, I mean, Yeah,
That doesn't really move the needle that much.
Well, a Treylon is going to get better. So now that I know that he has Treylon, I think I feel a little bit better about making this trade. I'm not. I'm gonna say just because of where your team stands, yeah, go ahead. But I'll refrain from stamping it because I'm not comfortable.
Don't forget, he's got Pittman there as well. So if you're rolling with Pittman and Juju with Dotson or who else did he have in the flex?
Burks
or Burks that you can kind of interchange in the flex.
Yeah, I
there.
guess so.
I'd take that for Penny in the RB2 position right now. So
yeah, all right. I'll give it to you, Roger. Go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, you're approved by me. Hammer, what do you think?
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. But Penny is just not gonna give you anything. And as the season goes on, it's gonna be harder and harder and harder to get an RB2. So if you can get Pierce now, I think you kind of have to do it. The problem here is Mooney. Like you gotta get a guy, and
he doesn't even have to play. That's the thing. You don't got to play Mooney.
You don't got to play him.
But that's what I'm saying. So, Dotson, I like Dotson a lot, honestly. But Bagala brought it up, the enigma that is Carson Wentz. So, you kind of got to get Pierce.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Yeah, go do that, and
go do that. Definitely do that, Roderick. And we hope you win your next game.
Yeah. And then he said something else here. Dotson has the target share. He doesn't have the target share. Let me throw that out there real quick. 5 targets. Last game he had 8 targets.
Curtis Samuel is out sharing him by a significant margin.
Curtis Samuel and Terry are getting way more looks. And Dotson's, I've been saying this. I know you probably weren't watching earlier. Dotson is not going to finish with 20 touchdowns, so we can't expect him to keep scoring 2 touchdowns and 1 touchdown on just 5 targets a game. But like we said, we do agree with the trade, so we're giving you all stamp that shit. Go do it, brother.
There wasn't any furniture moving on this stamp, though. I noticed.
No, there wasn't. He controlled himself.
Stamp that bitch. But all right, man. We thank you guys all for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate all you guys. Follow us on Instagram if you haven't already.
When's the next episode?
Fantasy football. Next episode will be on Friday, and then Saturday. Just hit the little bell there, so we'll notify you, and you'll see it up. It'll be scheduled shows. This way, you guys are aware. But,
who do you got? Who do you got? Real quick, Dolphins Bengals. Who you got Thursday?
Dolphins Bengals.
I like that matchup.
Roll with the hot hand. Let's go, Tua.
Yeah. I'm definitely with it. Did you hear Cheetah? He goes, yeah, Eli Apple. I want some of Eli Apple. I owe you. So I'm going with Cheetah.
Yeah.
Oh God, Jesus Christ, I gotta go with Joe Burr. There's a little bit of self-motivation, self-preservation there. I need Joe Burr and Jamar Chase to show up. I'm gonna roll Bengals on this one. I don't like it though. I don't like it.
All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up. We'll see y'all on Friday.
Talk about what you got.
I miss you.